Okay. Right. Hello everyone on the stream replay. Hopefully we're live on Twitch as well. Welcome to the stream. Part 2, as you can see, well, quite literally picking up where we left off here on Mario Kart Mondays at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, as we didn't get anywhere near done with this multi-world here that we started last night. I kind of always knew that would be the case, and as such, I planned accordingly, left today free, and here we are now, ready to get into, hopefully, the second half of this Archipelago. I have access to be able to see, what is it? I have like rich presence enabled on the text client you can see in the corner, and it says I'm about halfway through Mario Kart Wii's checks. I don't have access to 8s on there, unfortunately, so I can't say too much about that, but probably about a similar amount. One thing I do know is last time I forgot to actually click the Rainbow Road checks, so I did do that off stream. I believe it was like Star Cup or something for, what's it called? Mario Kart Wii, and I think a filler item were the two we got off stream technically, so you missed a little bit, but not too much. I thought I'd click it rather than waiting till today, because there was a chance I forgot. I didn't. I could have easily remembered and done it just now, but yeah. So anyway, we're going to continue right off where we left, as I said. We're here in Mario Kart 8, since that's what we finished on last night, and I've got a lot of stuff to do here in Mario Kart 8, so it feels apt to begin tonight's stream here. I was playing this game called Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Funny stuff, we're actually going to be playing the same game, Larry. I know. Can't believe it. How you doing? Hope you're having a good one. Really not that much though. Just explaining. I did like 2 checks off stream last night because I forgot to press them as I pressed the end button on the stream. So we got the Star Cup in Mario Kart Wii. I think I have the server open, but I don't think it's gonna tell me. Oh no, it does. Okay, it does have the logs from last night. Let's have a quick look at what I sent them. Yeah, Star Cup Mirror to Mario Kart Wii and coins were sent from Rainbow Road. Been good, slept better than I expected. Oh, that's really good to hear. I mean, I could have gone for a little longer myself, but I actually chose to upload the... what's it called? The Twitch version of the VOD to YouTube rather than the one that I recorded locally, because the local recorded version was 30 gig and it reckoned it would take 2 hours to upload, and I was like, nope, I'm going to bed. So I exported the VOD from Twitch, which sometimes cuts off like the first 20 seconds for seemingly no reason. The other thing it does is takes hours more to render, even though it's a smaller file. I don't know why that is. So, because of that, it actually didn't finish rendering till like, and therefore uploading until like 6 AM for some reason. When normally the VODs would be up by like 2 AM at the latest most of the time when I'm handling them, so yeah, that was a bit of a pain, but it's up now anyway, and hopefully you can see the second and final part a bit sooner than that, because if all going well, I'd like to actually finish this sometime before midnight, since it's not even 8 o'clock yet. I can get to these things a bit earlier on Tuesday. Right, so let's go into single player. Let's find the right client of the two. I've also... the annoying thing with the text client you can see in the corner there that says, you know, server Mario Kart Wii, etc. The annoying thing is it doesn't save the size that you stretch the window to, so in order to get it to look good, I had to do that. I had to stretch the window, so I manually kind of had to redo that based on a screenshot I saved yesterday, so it might not be perfect. I might have to adjust it as I go along, so let me know if like any text is off screen if for whatever reason I miss it. Anyway, so what we can do right now, let's go down the list. It's actually not that much, I don't think. I think it's 2 cups I can start with here in Mario Kart 8, unless I get any more as I go along. See, I'm even saying that. I'm looking right now, and I'm not actually seeing any. That's really weird. Oh, I know why. Give me a second here. It's because I was test generating another game earlier, so therefore my game isn't set up properly. 1 second. Let me fix this. Luckily I left all the files I need somewhat easily able to be accessed. Mario Kart 8 and Wii. Yep. So then I'm probably going to need to reopen that. Archipelago launcher. Sorry, this will take a little bit. This is a bit clunky to do. I just didn't notice anything wrong before the stream, which is my bad. Right, 1, 2. I then wanna. Yeah, that one's fine. It's the Mario Kart Wii one then that needs some prodding along. That's the game name. Connect. There we go, both connected. Right, back to what I was doing, which was Mario Kart 8. That's more like it. So, available we have the Lightning Cup, the Special Cup, and the Turnip Cup. What's in Turnip? Yeah, Turnip feels like a pretty good start. Sure, let's go there. While you were away, Larry, I noticed we also got a character who I'm definitely going to start the day off as. Yep, there we go. There you are. We've got to start the day with Tanuki Mario. Is that all still looking correct? Yes. By the way, how's the volume balance? It looks a little quiet, but it should be a bit louder when we're in game, I'm guessing. This is all where it should have been yesterday. It's just quiet for me. So I'm going to turn it up on my end a little bit. Okay. So, what was it? Turnip. Being really blind, there's the turnip. Okay, cool. Let's go. Hey K-Dog, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good Tuesday so far over there. Thanks for joining. Let me move that text client slightly. Okay, yeah, it's got a bit louder now, so guess what? I can now turn it down on my end. I'm going to be playing that game today as well. To follow on from yesterday's exciting stories, by the way, my Switch 2 money still hasn't been taken from Smith's. They did announce some in-store midnight events, though, which, had they announced that months ago, I might have actually somewhat considered. But they didn't, so instead, here I am getting it out of pocket. Home delivery. Got that new Lilo and Stitch. How did you find it? I think that's the key. The Switch 2 money went out ages ago for the OLED. Cha-ching, there we go. There's the mention. 5 out of 5. Interesting to hear you liked it then. I know it's not been everyone's cup of tea, but I don't know, hopefully you got what you wanted out of it, that's the key. This one's a pretty dull track to me personally, but hey, Sack's carrying, so I'll take it. Yeah, I'm still currently in the awkward period of having a load of money in your bank account and you feel really uneasy about it because you're like, what if some random £1 payment takes it out or whatever. We're still at that stage and we'll be for a couple of days, but there you go. That's the update of the saga. That's about all I have to report today. It's actually been a very quiet day. I've been trying to work on something completely different off-logger related today, like not playing it as in working on a bit of back-end stuff. I can't say anything too exciting because it's currently broken, so I can't really report anything cool yet, or if I'll even be able to fix the thing and then show you something cool, I don't know, but it's about where I've been at. I've genuinely done that all day and just had like background noise just to kind of keep me company. So nothing to report since going to bed last night whatsoever. Right, New York Minute, Wild Wing to Mario Kart Wii, and Filler to Mario Kart Wii. Any first repeat track of the day though. Nice and short one at least. Can get a few quick checks out of this. Yeah, anyone been playing anything interesting / listening to anything interesting aside from going to the cinema as we've just established? Curious as to what everyone else has been doing instead, since I have nothing to really talk about from that experience today whatsoever. Oh well. Some days are just a washout, that's fine. I've got a bit more planned for the next couple days to get on with at least. Not that it matters, because I won't talk about it till Monday anyway, at which point I'll probably have done something more exciting over the weekend, but still. We do what we can regardless. Speaking of which, I've said a million times as to what's coming up on each Mario Kart Monday for a while now, but as everyone else is doing, because I'm the world's most original streamer, we'll be doing some Mario Kart 8 Online, so we'll head back to that, hopefully with a bit of song request. I'm going to try and get that working. I should have spent a chunk of today doing that, because that needs some maintenance, but we'll see how that bit goes, certainly. But at least Mario Kart 8 Online, just a standard, like, See, I'd like to do a tournament if we could get enough people together, but I'd really like have to band together a lot of people. I'd have to like ask around some communities, because I love the tournament feature in this game. I don't know whether it's going to come back for World. I'm not sure if we've had that confirmed, but certainly, even if so, I'd love to get a last little one together, so I'm possibly thinking maybe we could do something like that on Monday. Like I said, some requests though, just because we've heard all the music from this game this week. I'd like something a bit different, and you know, we can moderate that pretty easily for the most part, so yeah, it'd be fun to have that. I'll make sure to make a local recording so I don't get Twitch nuked though. Okay, filler. I thought my Walkman was broken, but it was just dust in the headphone jack. Oh really? I've never had that sort of issue before. It's always been the headphones causing that, rather than the headphone port itself. I've got kind of lucky in that regard. I shouldn't have said anything, but I've now said it, so I'm trying to do so much in regards to not giving myself these curses, apparently, when you just want to keep talking as a streamer. It happens to the best of us, okay? The train on this track is way more aggressive than it tends to be on N64. I like it, actually. The fact that you do actually still have to kind of stop and slow down for the train. I would have thought they would have, like, got rid of that, considering, you know, Mario Kart 8's about going fast. I have a hand pump blower. I really need to get something like that, because I've never really had that, or, like, compressed air, or anything similar, and it would be so handy for all the sort of stuff I do, but yeah, I've never done that. That's probably something I should invest in sooner or later, TBH. See, I'm looking at this on my screen right now, and I'm like, this is a really... Like, the lighting in this level is really pretty, and I'm like, man, just imagine how much better it's going to be in World, especially when, you know, that 4K hits. Even just at 1080p on this monitor will look incredible. I'm very much looking forward to it, as you know, but, like, random little aspects like that crop up to me every now and then. Oh yeah, like, this is already a really good-looking game, so, you know, there's not, like, an awful lot you need to improve on, but certainly, like, the art direction on Booster Course Past is, oh yeah, it can. That's a really good point, actually. I forgot all about that. Good thing I've never had it then, as I've just said. Lost what I was saying. Oh well. Nice short little Grand Prix though to get us into the swing of things before. Two that have rainbow roads in. Somewhat of a coincidence, I'm sure, but I've left those two. I mean, I only had the option of 3 last time we were here. I think I got this during whatever the Lost Cup is. I can't think what it's called. The Lost Booster Course DLC. Coins, so filler. Button wheels. Nice. And then Waluigi Pinball time. It was never not going to come back, but we really were nervous about this for no reason, weren't we? Oh no, I do have something to report on. I mean, Larry already knows this. I had to re-download my Spotify library, as I do like once a month, because Android permissions just suck on new Android versions. Every update I have to do it. It's thankfully finished now. I used to not even be able to leave it locked, because it wouldn't download locks, but Spotify fixed that at some point, so at least that now works. That's something new. At some point, going from, I think it's Android 16 to 17, whatever the most recent Android is, that also completely broke my messaging app, which was really cool. It had all the right, like, permissions set. It just didn't really do what it needed to do, and therefore I had to switch back to a boring one from my Persona 5 one that I've always enjoyed whenever I had to screenshot it when I got a spam text. I think I just stopped working at some point, and I've never checked to see if anyone did do a permissions fix for it. Imagine still getting updates. I don't know why I honestly still get updates. I'm one of 4 people who own a modern Sony phone. I think they discontinued my model as I was buying it. Or was it earlier? I can't remember. But regardless, it is discontinued. And I think Sony are cutting back on handsets again, like they did last time I was with them, which was 2018. And like, after that, I wanted to get another one, couldn't find it, so went elsewhere. Yeah, sure, fire away, K-Dog. You know, I went elsewhere with my phones for a couple of years, and then came back, and then Sony were like, nah. I change again in February, so I'll see where I stand. The track was so tough in 200cc today. There's certain corners I can see being a bit tough, but once again, it benefits from being an 8 Deluxe, therefore having brake drifting. I don't want to imagine this having been in base 8, for example, and doing that. Right, I'll read that in a second. Oh boy, that's a lot of text. Okay, I can't drive, that's fine. Dead by Daylight is having the 9th anniversary celebrations. They have a Twitch Drops campaign currently where you can get free in-game loot. The problem is that I load the PC version, then my copy of the game might get hacked. 1 second. Copy of the game might get hacked, and not only that, but my entire Wi-Fi connection at home might be DDoS because of a bug that's only in the PC version of the game. I don't know if the devs ever patched that bug out of the game. If all you're doing is downloading it exclusively to redeem that, and then you know, you can uninstall and go back to another version or whatever, I don't see why those two things would be an issue. Because as long as you're not like going into a multiplayer game, as far at least you describe it as that, you're just going into the menu and going to presume to unlock the stuff. If you're not going into a multiplayer game, then I don't see a reason why those two worries would be an issue. Personally, I don't think. It's through EGS. Yeah, in theory, I think you would be fine. I don't see a reason to like think that would necessarily be the case with what you want to do, which is just get the rewards. No worries. Filler, coins. Not a very fruitful Grand Prix at all, but it's done. You can also look up Dead by Daylight patch notes and see if the bug is mentioned as being fixed if you want to be cautious. That is also true, yeah. I mean, like, not much of a browser myself, but I feel like quite often for that sort of stuff, if you want to get proper results, like going to the Dead by Daylight Reddit, for example, people might mention if that's still a problem, or maybe people will also say it's been fixed, even if there's no patch notes or whatever. Okay. Who do I want to be now? Who I've got unlocked? Let's have a look through. There's like a couple in between. It's not like I'm actually stuck this time. I'd never play as Daisy in this game, typically, so why not? Okay, 150. Lightning or special? Let's do lightning first, then go special. Do 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 do. TikTok Clock's a really good track in this game. I like aspects of both it and the original. Like, there's never been a perfect combo, but I like that both play completely differently, all the same, so one's fun. I think my main thing is this this section coming up here. Because of the glider, it completely de-emphasizes actually really touching the cogwheels for the most part, which was the craziness of the cogwheels was always one of my favourite parts of the original track. Like, don't get me wrong, I've landed here, but you know, I kind of avoided that section for the most part. It's like one of my only real gripes of it. That and are the hands still there in the initial first like circular section? That was always really fun to have to dodge those in DS. I mean, you even had missions for that in DS, didn't you, thinking about it? And like, they're kind of there, but their trick ramps down instead of actually being perilous. I can get the reasoning for that change all the same, but you know, it's a matter of preference for sure, I guess. TikTok looks great. Always been one of my favourite maps in DS, or certainly was, at least from a young age. It's still pretty highly ranking though, I'd say, even having World has brought missions back. Yeah, I guess not like in the same format, but they kind of have, haven't they? I hadn't even considered that. I'm also aware I didn't say missions correctly at all, but whatever, you know. You know, I'm pretty glad to see stuff like that now that you mention it. I wouldn't have even put the pieces together that that's actually what it is, but it kind of effectively is. They must have seen all the begging online for like a mission mode in MK8 Deluxe and gone, okay, well, we'll figure something out. And it actually works in universe now instead of just being like a menu. It's super neat. Yeah, I don't know how I'm feeling about Mario Kart World in that sense. I'm like, because I 100% in the base game of this game, but I never did the booster course pass because it was so much more difficult for no reason, especially the time trial stuff. In fact, entirely the time trial stuff. But, yeah, because of that, I'm like, will I try and do the same in that game, or will I just buckle and go for the characters and courses and stuff? Anyway, TikTok Clock, Tanuki Kart, and Filler. Welcome, Jamie. Hope you're having a good one. Thanks for dropping by. We are halfway through, as in on the second day, of a multi-world randomizer here with Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart Wii. The way I do it, Aluri, is... I nearly said Jamie, whoops. The way I treated it is because you have to do the staff ghosts for the base game to get the parts. I was also trying to do the same for I was trying to do the same for Booster Course Pass. I gave up on that, but I was trying to do it. That's kind of how I did it in my head. So I don't know whether they'll like keep similar difficulty aspects on some of the staff ghosts going into World, or they'll completely nerf it again. Randomizer for Mario Kart. So, yeah, as Aluri said, it's a manual randomizer. If you don't know what that is, it's like, there's no modding or anything involved. I'm playing on a standard copy of the game, just with a completed save file. There's like a little text client then that tells me what I have unlocked, what I can use, and then, therefore, what I can use to unlock more stuff. So, it is like an entirely playing by an arbitrary rule set kind of thing, but it's been a lot of fun. So, hopefully, even if people weren't like convinced or didn't know what it was at first, I've kind of shown them around it a little bit more. This isn't like the Sonic Adventure one we did where, you know, I flat out physically can't go to those places. Like, you know, it's... what's the word? It's like a jail cell made of twigs. Like, I don't have Funky Kong unlocked right now, for example, but I could go and use him because he's in the game, but he's not in the multi-world. That's the fun of it, you know, is trying to like go around, get all your cups unlocked, get all your characters that you want to use unlocked, that sort of thing. Like, that's really the end goal of all of this. It's just a bit of fun at the end of the day, like playing within rules, like, you know, other challenge runs, stuff like that. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah, it's been a great time so far. I reckon we're just about over halfway in the overall thing. At least Mario Kart Wii definitely told me it was over halfway when I looked at the thing while setting up the day. I didn't see Mario Kart 8's, but I'd assume a similar, maybe slightly lower statistic, because it just has more cups. We kind of make up for that because Mirror is included in Mario Kart Wii, but yeah, it's not for obvious reasons in Mario Kart 8. That obvious reason being like 700 checks required. I don't know. Am I ready for the end of Power Wash Simulator 1? No, but I'm definitely ready to hear more about Power Wash Simulator 2. I finished the rest of Muckingham Files last Tuesday, so I am at least caught up, so I'm looking forward to... The only other map I've still got to replay on Steam is the first Christmas one. I didn't do that this year for some reason. Anyway, Piranha Plant Slide, what do we unlock? Mini Beast. I can't remember what card that is for the life of me. Oh, the weird headlights, yes. And the coins. The desert place was so lackluster. I actually really like that. That's one of my favourite Power Wash maps. I can see why you were disappointed, but I think as an actual map, if I chucked it in like as one of the early maps, it would have been one of my favourites in that regard. So I tried to like paint it with the same brush there, you know. I didn't want to treat it too harshly, even if I would have liked, you know, every other one has had at least 2 if not 3 maps that are a bit bigger, that kind of thing. I get the reason for it not being though as well, and even despite that, like, just on its own as a map, it's still pretty good. I had a lot of fun cleaning that one. Speaking of a lot of fun, Grumble Volcano was always one of my absolute favourites. I do this a lot, and I go, oh, now I would rank it out, and I'm going to do this again, but, like, I don't know, I guess probably, like, bottom middle of the pack in Mario Kart Wii now, but I quite like this Mario Kart 8 version all the same. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not even that different from the Mario Kart Wii version, but it's fun, yeah. I think the subway train's a great way to end things off. Do we actually know that the subway train's what we're cleaning? Is that the one that's in the subway map that's not there? This is really loud compared to the other stages, I don't know why. Yeah, I'm guessing we know that because of the whole ticket thing or whatever. I just had only seen what you sent me, so kind of going off that. 15:02 is a very specific time as well. I wonder if there's some sort of law-related reason that it's releasing at 15:02 and not just 3 o'clock. Hey, I'll free up my Thursday. I don't think I got much else going on anyway. That's a lie, actually. I'm going out and getting my hair cut, so I'll enjoy that when I get back, I guess. Good news, 200cc has redeemed Sky High Sunday in my eyes. That's good to hear. Sky High can be fun. It's much better at the higher speed though, for sure. It's definitely made for that. I'm assuming it's train due to the picture. Yeah, okay, that makes sense then. I'd also assume it is, based on the fact, you know, train ticket, all that stuff as well. Would be nice to see how that ties into anything else, because so far the rest of Buckingham Files has had very little relevance to the main story from what I recall. It's just been like side activities for random NPCs or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, this sounds absolutely insane for anyone who's never played the game. That's like half the fun, is reading the weird dialogue, not just doing mundane tasks or whatever. So I'm curious as to whether, because of that, we're actually going to get something important going into Power Wash 2 in that regard. Or, you know, not important, none of it's important, you can ignore all of it, but you'll be confused as to when a UFO shows up. Oh. Spoilers. Okay, we got coins, fill up, worthless. Okay, there we go, the, not namesake, but the picture sake of the streams of Mario Kart Mondays. Let's do it. I mean, this track is nothing, or it is obviously, it is nothing like its Mario Kart 64 counterpart. I like both for different reasons. This one's really good though, like, as a reimagining more than a flat-out remake or whatever, this one really hits the right notes for me. It hits none of the notes that the original track does, weirdly though, but it still hits just the right spot. I also do still have a soft fondness in my heart for going back to the original, and it's like really basic design, how long it is, and the rest of it. So, oh yeah, this is technically the last track in the game as well. It's weird to think about it like that, but at one point, for like a year, it was. This has been the last track in the game, presumably for the least amount of time in Mario Kart 8's collective history. Thinking about it. Yeah, 8's Rainbow Road is the weakest in the game. Really? I really like 8 Rainbow Road. Oh, this is the poster track? Oh, it is also 8 Deluxe's poster track, isn't it? Yeah, I always forget about that. I really like 8's Rainbow Road personally. I don't know how it would rate in comparison to the others. I guess you're alright. It probably... What? SNES, Wii... I think it rates higher than 3DS. I like 3DS, but I definitely think it's coming 4th out of 5th. I think it's a good track. It's just very different from what came before it, so if people are a little mad about that, I hope they're looking forward to to Worlds also being completely different from the rest of the Rainbow Roads in the series. Hot Monster and me. Pete wanted me the other day, didn't he? So let's do that now. Or maybe we'll see if Pete shows up and do it then. 8's is like, it's like a 9 amongst 10s. That's a very good way of putting it, actually, yeah. Switch 2 is out in the wild, so from what I've seen, yeah, there's just that one Walmart, isn't there, that has them in cages out on the floor. I get the feeling they moved them not long after that picture, unsurprisingly, but yes, that did happen. Okay, so we're going to save me. I've agreed to myself, so in the meantime, let's go Wiggler. And I only have 1 cup left before we're kind of... Oh, Genki have one. Really? That surprises me. But hey ho. Do you mean Genki the accessory company or Genki the Tokyo Extreme Racer Company. There's two of them. Okay, I've gotta know which one. Oh, that's why they're getting sued. Ah, yes. Okay, the accessory company. That would track as to how they were able to get such specific measurements before everyone else. Goodness knows how they got it. Like, that's got to be the world's most sketchiest deal. Black market, but like, this is... That's not like your standard black market. That's like deep web kind of black market. Like, you're down there with like, Oh, hang on, I'll read that in a sec, Jamie. Their uncle works at Nintendo. Even uncles who work at Nintendo can't get the damn thing. Like, unless it was stolen fresh off the factory line, it was stolen from someone, presumably with force, I would imagine, somewhere along the shipping line. So, yeah, there's probably some questions to be answered there for sure. They're putting a new feature in Power Wash 2, which they're going to share in a future dev update. Looking at devlog 3 for the game on Steam, which is the concept of the character, I believe we might be abseiling buildings. Or, if true, that'd be really fun. There's like so many little new, not just the quality of life features, but there's like little gameplay flourishes, like stuff, you know, like stuff like that, and having the hangout when you're playing in multiplayer, the office building, and actually therefore kind of having a bit of a hub world almost. Just like the little bits like that just make an already really good game that I was originally like, why does this need a sequel, into something that absolutely deserves like the tiny little bits of extra it's getting. And let's be honest, we all know it's a sequel because they want to self-publish it, which is really cool. All the more power to them for, you know, I'm sure there's no ill feelings hopefully on the Square Enix side or anything like that. I am that person, Jamie. I use the ladders, but I genuinely love the parkour maps. It's the thing I was always saying during the VGM shows about it's why the Tomb Raider map's my favourite, because they actually force you to do that, and therefore make the levels creatively. Instead of simulating power washing, maybe the gamers should have a wash. Speak for yourself. Power wash gamers got to be some of the cleanest people I know. Now, Mario Kart players. I felt the ladders were useless at times. Yeah, they absolutely are. I get that I'm just using them and being stubborn when I'm not using them and being stubborn when I'm meant to use them, but like, especially when really tall maps like the fire building have an achievement for not using the ladder, it's hardly surprising that they fostered people to do things like that, you know, with maps like that and Tomb Raider coming out at launch, you know, it's like, well, you kind of built people into that mindset with that, so good they're kind of capitalising on it a bit more. We got Bullet Bike, ooh, very nice, and Flame Flyer to MKW as well. Bone Dry Ruins. You remember you said the thing about 9s in a game full of 10s. This is like 8 in a game full of 10s. I think this track's fine, but there's a reason I'd never see it picked online ever. I think I've played it collectively maybe about 3 times in the online mode over the years. It really does not get picked often. Oh yeah, how's that going by the way, Jamie? I didn't manage to catch Night Train on Sunday where I saw you were talking about that, but yeah, how did that end up going for you? Or at least I assume in progress. I'm kind of somewhat considering at least messing about with the Sonic Rivals set that came out yesterday. Because, I don't know, it's basically just 100% the game, which I nearly did when I was younger, so there's part of me that goes, I just want to actually 100% it for real one of these days, and say that I've done it just for the funnies, and hey, I'd get some cool achievements for it, so it might be worth it in a weird roundabout way. Also, nice, good job. I've not really done any achievement hunting for ages. I burnt myself to a fine crisp as a result of that whole Miku saga, and I would have to grind a lot for Sonic Rivals as well, but I don't remember it being anywhere near as bad as this grind that I had to go on for Miku that I never even finished because it was that bad, so I think it was like 500 plays of a 30-second boss fight, which is much better than 1,000 plays of a 2-minute song, to me personally. That's much more manageable, but not everyone's going to be in the same position. But yeah, I'm somewhat considering that as a result. I much prefer Rivals 1 to Rivals 2, which I think is a hot take if you played them as a kid. if you've played them as an adult, no, Rivals 1 is a much better game than Rivals 2. Rivals 2 is an incredibly frustrating game, and Rivals 1 has its moments as well, but at least it's much more fair on you as a player for the most part, in regards to like rubber banding stuff and character. I've said it before, the whole thing of it's really dumb having flight characters like Tails in a game where you need to go to the right, because all the flight's doing is sending you upwards, instead of giving you speed to go further right. So you're just actually putting yourself at a disadvantage by being forced to play as characters like Tails. It's really stupid. That was even better, Rush and Rush Adventure. Yes. It is a low bar, I'm aware, but we're still... I'm still comparing Rivals right now. It's like, you know 06 is just a worse SA1 and 2, and it's like, well, yeah, but I'm talking about 06. Ooh, nice, Jamie. Well, best of luck with it, I guess. Alright, checks. Bella, Baby Daisy. I think that's all the baby characters in Mario Kart Wii, if I'm not mistaken. Not even far off having all the lightweights full stop. I think it is just Toad is the only one remaining. I wish we get some heavyweights, because heavyweights are really suffering in Wii from memory. There's not that many of them about. Now, Bowser's Castle 8 is a really good version of Bowser's Castle. It's one that's definitely grown on me over the years. Like, I always thought it was decent, but I was like, there are better ones, but now I'm like, I don't know, I think this is a good contender for my favourite. Like, it's very simple. Like, once you get to this area, it's a bit more boring. Like, first set of opening turns with all the twists, and you can get the purple boost if you're playing an 8 Deluxe really easily, and it's just satisfying to take them. I don't know, I really like this version of it. I think this one doesn't come up in conversation all that much, and I think it really should. It kind of takes the best of both worlds and is a good display of a bunch of the new stuff in the game without being too in your face about it, like a lot of the retro tracks can sometimes end up feeling. And then I can hit the weird... It's not even like a ball and chain, it feels more like a Katamari than anything. Like, it's not a very spiky spike ball, you know? There's the castle to live in if everything is topsy-turvy to move in. I mean, this is the same guy with the, it's the same guy with the moving carpet and the giant version of himself spewing out fireballs. Mario Kart Wii version and all that is brutal in comparison. Like, this is pretty tame, I think. Like, as long as you got a bit of anti-grav on your car, I think you'll be fine. You're not walking around this on foot, let's be honest. You definitely need like a golfmobile or something to just traverse on this if you get into bed or whatever. That's where we know this could just be a base. Just because there's a castle doesn't mean he has to live there, I guess. So this could just be a base of operations. Don't know what he's doing here, but well, they're clearly at work, so... Finally had a Katamari reroll to my Steam library the other day. Ooh, very nice. Let me know how you get on with it. It's a very good game. Well, speaking of which, Jamie, I was gonna message you about this the other day. Today, sorry. I know you're not getting your Switch 1 yet, but did you see that Hull is one of like 4 or 5 Smiths doing a in-store midnight launch? As far as I know, Smiths are the only place doing a midnight launch for it, not even the game store, believe it or not. Yeah, there's one kind of local to me, but I have my Smiths order as a post delivery, so I can't change it, sadly. Oh, don't worry, Aluri. I've got my beautiful Katamari, thankfully, but unless you were talking about yourself, in which case, hold off. I can't remember. Were we talking about? Because it's the sort of thing I would have told you, like, hey, could you look out for? I'm now thinking about it. I'm thinking you're talking about yourself, and I sound arrogant. But yeah, if you're thinking about it for yourself, how does it not have the disc? Anyway. Oh yeah, you did bring it up then. Because I know I've asked Jamie to look out for some things every now and then, so I was like, did I ask you to look out for that and just forgot about it? So I assumed that instead of assuming the more reasonable thing, which is you were looking for yourself. Anyway, Bowser Castle. Parachute. Filler. Alright, one more, and then we're actually forced to go to Mario Kart Wii. You don't have a choice in the matter, unless there's a cup unlock here. Here we go, final race. I will say, I cannot remember the song from this for the life of me. No, I can. I'm thinking about it now. It's a good song, but definitely one of the weaker Rainbow Roads musically, but that guitar does still stick with me every now and then. Yeah, certainly like not the highs of Wii or DS and a couple others in terms of music for me. I mean N64 actually could go. Why did I list those two first? I mean, what is it? The SNES remix in this game is fine, but the original SNES version is a thing of beauty. The song in particular, that is. It's still a perfectly serviceable remix in this game. But no, this one's actually pretty good. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is a decent Rainbow Road. It's not one of the memorable ones, musically, I'd say. But I like it. I like the things that other people aren't talking about sometimes. It's cool of me like that or something. Trendy, there we go, that's the word. Trendy of me. Quite literally the opposite of trends, because I'm avoiding the trend, but whatever. I mean, it's a pretty fun one to drive for the same reasons I kind of like Bowser's Castle. Hipster, there you go, that's the word. So tempted to get Sacretize in 1 and 2. What you mean, just pick them up so that you can do the translations and stuff? Since you were talking about retro achievements, I know the first game has them for the English translation. You don't know if someone started working on the second, but certainly it wasn't ready quite yet. Yeah, definitely. They're not that expensive, so it's kind of worth it just for the amusement value of having copies of them, I guess. Oh. Dope. This one's fun. I just love twists and turns on tracks, and hey, it kind of calls back to Toad's Turnbike a little bit. Turnbike. First of all, it's Turnpike. Second of all, it's Toad's Factory that I'm thinking of the conveyor belts and stuff. And there's little bits at each track in here, and even though it wasn't in the game yet, like there's a lot of these bits of roads here really remind me of the middle section in Big Blue and stuff, which, you know, they might have already been designing that. They probably were already designing that at this point in time. So like, pretty easy to say that could be a callback or whatever. Ripping Saturn games is a simple rip, right? Assuming that because they're on CDs. I think there's a specific program people recommend you use. It's not Image Burn like most of them are. I can't remember what it is. It's like Saturn BinQ Creator or something. I think it's the generally agreed upon way. It might be worth just like Googling or something to see if that exists and I didn't make it up. Right, here we go. Yoshi, ooh, and Dry Bowser. Right, with that we are forced to go back to Mario Kart Wii, so I'm going to leave the game here, and I'm going to remember how to do this. Oh yeah, having a disc drive is pretty crucial to that. So what I then do is I leave the audio on, I hit the 2 button on my splitter here. You can see the game, I then mute that, unmute that. I undo that so that the game's filled in properly. And deactivate and activate. What in... Oh, I'm playing Yoshi in that. I also got Yoshi in this last night, I believe. Yeah, disc drives are absolutely worth it for, like, yeah, CEX finds, like, physical PC games and stuff, exactly. Like, even just, like, a £10 one, I think you can kind of get on Amazon pretty easily, I think. I recently got one for, like, 20-ish, because it was, like, one that I knew would have what I needed, stuff like skip protection for ripping CDs, because I've had that problem before. I've knocked my desk and then my my music rips come out really bad and stuff like that. So I think I paid $25 for like a decent one. You can find them pre-owned and stuff all the time as well. If you know, look locally in town or whatever as well, there'll be options, I guess. Yeah, I also hate that it's just not a standard thing. Like, my one doesn't have them in. If I ever change my case, I should go for one that does have a room for it, because it was kind of silly of me not thinking about that at the time. I mean, nowadays it doesn't matter as much, because I've got an external Blu-ray drive or whatever, but it would be really nice to have an internal Blu-ray drive if I ever change PC stuff or whatever. Right, I'm going to double check my settings, because unlike the Switch, I have turned off my Wii U overnight, so I'm going to make sure it's actually all still normal. Yep, that's fine. Right, what do we have to do here? Let me open my Mario Kart Wii client, that would help. So I got Battle Mode and Star Cup Mirror. Did I sort the Battle Mode stuff? No. I tried looking into why CTGP was doing that. Couldn't find an answer. I really don't want to get stuck on Battle Mode. I will do it if I have to, but if not, I'm just going to leave it, honestly. So anyway, I need to set this to Mirror Mode. I forget. Who do I have in terms of heavy characters? Oh, I have 5 now. Wario, Waluigi, Rosalina, Bowser, and Dry Bowser. Yeah, I think it definitely is, for sure. Something to do with that. So, Wario, Waluigi, Rosalina. We did Waluigi last night, didn't we? So let's avoid that. I have Dry Bowser in Mario Kart Wii, and Mario Kart 8, and was considering playing it. So I guess Bowser, why not? I will at some point, of course, do Wario. That is, like, inevitable, but start with Bowser. It's his bike, after all, if you're playing the PAL version. I think and the Japanese version as well. I think America were just weird and changed it. Right, Star Cup Mirror. I did just change it, didn't I? I went into the menu, so yeah, Mirror versus Race. I can see it in the corner there. Okay, let's go. Let's give King a chance to get hit before Wario, and give Pete a chance before the me. That is what I'm trying to do. Okay, so if you missed the explanation yesterday, I'm using CTGP for 2 reasons. One, because this is a Wii U. Wii U is way easier to use because the nice thing about Wii U modding is you can force the Wii U to be in 1080p mode at all times instead of switching around rapidly like it normally does. Because of that, it's a bit easier to use with this capture card setup. Second one is because... because of that then, there's 2 benefits to using CTGP. One is... there's a deflicker filter. Like, if you've ever played Brawl, there's the option to turn the deflicker on and off, and it either becomes blurry or cleaner. Mario Kart Wii doesn't have that built in, but CTGP has a code to do it for you, basically. Second one is USB GameCube controller. I'm not playing with a Wii remote if I can help it. Like, I've got batteries in my Wii remote, and that's exactly the reason I'm not using it, because I'm playing Super Paper Mario right now. I'd like to conserve those. So as such, I'm using a classic controller through an adapter, through a USB GameCube adapter. Any further questions? I never used Total Controls playing this game, no. Like, even... I did when I very first got the game, but like, even like a year after, I'd already switched to using... I think I had a GameCube controller by like 2009, which is weird for someone who didn't have a GameCube. Yeah, I used the Wii Wheel very early on, also then very quickly switched off to something a bit better. I've never really used it except exclusively for the gag of it after a certain point here on Mario Kart Wii. Yeah, I think I've used it maybe like once as a joke in Mario Kart 8, but it's certainly like, you run into people all the time who play this game at like, you know, a semi-professional level who still use the Wii Wheel, probably because it's what they started with and therefore got most comfy with it. I started with it, but was never honestly all that comfortable with it. I always messed up with it. Didn't feel like it was as precise as I personally wanted, so I have no physical attachment to it whatsoever. Right, Mario Kart Wii, let's move it over so I can read stuff. Okay, let's see what we've got. Filler, Leaf Cup. I think I needed Leaf Cup for something, didn't I? Game Battle Access. Okay, this is... yeah. I think... no, my Star Cup is needed for... I don't know, it's... anything else. Yeah, the Balloon Battle's got like 5 things I need to unlock in order to get Balloon Battle. I think one version of the Star Cup is one of them or something. We'll find out. I've got Leaf Cup anyway, which will be useful for getting some more checks in Mario Kart Wii at least, because otherwise I would flat out get stuck in Burger King mode and have to play Battle Mode. Which, I'm not against Battle Mode, but if you missed it yesterday, for some reason it always loaded GBA Bowser Castle 3 instead of any of the battle maps. Which, if I was doing Balloon Battle, would be fine. There's no coins on the map, because why would there be coins? So we couldn't actually finish coins on this. So many triple tracks. Oh, you know it. I mean, this is entirely triple tracks, this Grand Prix, right? It was because of Wii that I am reading and not taking into account mirror mode. It's because of Wii, let's say, took control for a long time, even in MK8D Deluxe, especially when we played. I'm not controller once again. Interesting. I mean, I say, I know a lot of people who kind of swayed that way because of this game, but I guess, I don't know. The second I learned you could use a normal control stick, I was like, oh, I'm sold. In Balloon Battle on a racetrack like it's OG Mario Kart 8, I was kind of thinking that. Isn't that suspected to be how battle mode works in World as well, that it's going to be very similar to OG Mario Kart 8, which I'm sure a lot of people will be very happy about when that comes out. It's nice to actually be about for a launch for Mario Kart, because the last one actually was Mario Kart Wii that I played on launch. Goodness, and that was, is it 17 years this year? Yeah, that sounds about... No. Wait, yeah, no, it is 17, isn't it? 2008. Wait, no, it's 18. No, yeah, no, 17. I was right the first time. Sorry, I'm trying to do this while concentrating on the track. Yeah, goodness. It was a while ago. But never had a 3DS on launch, never had a Wii U on launch, didn't have a Switch on launch. You can see the point here. But it's nice to be back in the ecosystem and be able to do that sort of thing. Yeah, I got a lot of good memories of getting this when it first dropped, unsurprisingly. It's almost like they're core memories. Oh, okay, you got Baby Luigi, that worked by me. Never had a console on launch. Honestly, probably sensible. I mean, I never had the Wii on launch. It was just that this game was like 2-ish years into it, so I already had the opportunity to get it when that was the case. Yeah, Mario Kart DS was pretty close to launch, wasn't it? And I think we got that like 2 or 3 years after it came out. And it was probably like 6-ish, maybe? It's probably about a year thinking about it, and it wasn't my DS anyway, so... Or my games, so... 3DS the first year as a Christmas gift. Very nice. Still got that. I mean, the OG 3DS is still a beautiful bit of kit. I know it's been hugely replaced in everyone's hearts by later revisions, even like the XL the following year, but I love the original 3DS. It's a very different look from everything that followed it, but I like it. It's like starkly contrasting from everything before and after kind of what Nintendo did, so yeah, huge soft spot for it. What we got? Metal, I'm guessing that's wheels or something. Donkey Kong, Villager Mail. Someone say another repeat? I think you might have. I've used the 2DS a couple times at demo kiosks and wasn't a big fan. I said before I love the 3DS. I had a conversation with someone the other day and I was like, oh yeah, no, it is just that I have small hands as to why I like the 3DS. I find that console really comfy. It's like just holding a controller, except it's like a full game console to me. It's a nice little slab. I don't use mine all the time, but it's one of my comfiest ways to play at least 3D stuff. 2D stuff with D-pad placement I really don't like, but 3D stuff I've always had a very good time on 2DS, honestly. It's been like my preferred way to play a lot of 3DS games. Even having had access to like new 3DS XL and stuff, I quite often, like in the case of X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I actually did choose playing on the 2DS over because I found that a bit more comfortable, personally. That on the screen is just a bit better on mine. Like, it really kind of sucks on my new 3DS XL, honestly. I don't know why, it's just... Yeah, it's just really bad for ghosting, even by like the crappy screen standards and the normal versions of the new 3DS. Any idea what your next retro Pokemon game is? I've finished Emerald, as you know, and I'll be talking about that presumably next week, I'm guessing. Yeah, it's next week, isn't it, already? It's June already, Jesus. It doesn't feel like it if you looked outside. It's been raining for about the last 3 days straight. Realistically, it's not the answer you want, but I'm probably going to check out Mariamon at some point, the hack that everyone's been raving about. I really need to get back. It's been well over a year since I played Moon now. I've what's the word? I've got to... I can't think what the right word is. you know, I've got Moon out of my system, right? It's probably about time for Sun Ultra Moon at some point, but there's also part of me that before that wants to do Pokemon either blue or yellow would be... No one ever talks about yellow, so that's kind of my logic to half wanting to play yellow, because if I did that, then I'd feel a bit better about playing stuff like red and blue in these randomizers. What's the hack? Super Mario Mon by... I can't remember the team's name. They're basically like a paid modding team by Alpharad, as far as I recall, or at least like partially funded and funded for other methods. It's what I roughly remember hearing, which is kind of fun that people are doing that sort of thing, you know, paying really talented people to make mods kind of, you know, more frequently rather than like commission-based or whatever. Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, I've seen it played a chunk of the way through, and it is really good from what I know, so yeah, Poke Community Forums, there you go, where you can grab the IPS and patch it into a standard Emerald. Gold Standard, B-Dasher, Leaf Tires. Yes, I've also seen the secret crossover capture. That's a part of the reason, unsurprisingly. Yeah, realistically, that's the one I've wanted to do next for a while. The only reason I've held off on it is because I've been playing a lot of Mario RPGs recently. I borrowed Super Mario RPG from a friend, and I finished it very quickly. I finished it like 2 weeks ago now at this point. And I've already mentioned a few times on the stream I've been playing 2 Paper Marios. Because of that, I was like, I've already got like 2 Mario RPGs on the go in very quick succession, so I probably shouldn't also play a second one alongside, you know, whichever one I was playing at the time. So I've been holding off a tiny little bit, but I don't know. It's a bit late to say do it before Switch 2, so it might be, you know, during cooldowns from having played loads of Mario Kart or whatever, I'm guessing. Yeah, using caps is a great decision for sure. Like, there's many ways you could have gone about it, but I feel like caps is one of the most inventive for sure. Yeah, I actually, someone did make a good soundtrack rip of it, so if I do end up playing that, I have access to a good soundtrack version, thankfully, at some point, which definitely isn't the case with most hacks. It's like, oh, download the YouTube video that the uploader made, or someone random made that doesn't sound very good, so at least I've got like a nice clean version that was put together. I have never heard of that. That sounds really interesting. I mean, I know nothing about any of the mystery... I know about the mystery dungeons. I've never played or would be any good at any of the mystery dungeons, but it is an intention at some point to check them out. I was going to check the Switch one out, actually, but I don't really know that many people own it. The only person I actually know is Gavin. I'm not going to be cheeky enough to do that. So it would be like pick up a copy somewhere at some point to check that one out and then check out the others subsequently. Throw bikes at Pokemon, that's great. Oh, that's amazing. Still haven't got any more cups for Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 so far. I mean, we've only done like the one cup here. That was a great save. I need to catch up though, quite desperately. And I also need to not hit the banana that Mary's definitely going to throw at me at a really inopportune moment. Oh, we're so back, Right, I am going to throw some items in an attempt to actually get a mushroom to help here, but I'm not getting one. I can't believe I'm getting beaten by Baby Luigi in a booster seat, man. What a time to be alive, truly. Oh, it's lucky. I got lucky, rather, sorry, they both failed the second and third. Okay. Chat. Master Cycle. Luigi. Okay. Leaf Cup it is. We're in the same position we were when we started this cup. I've got one cup, and then I kind of have to do battle mode. Okay, that's a normal Leaf Cup. We've already done Mirror Leaf Cup yesterday, so let's mash A to get through the menu a bit faster. Versus, then make sure I change the rules. Dropped a link to Dame Dungeon Bakamiski. Back of my sky in the Discord. Thank you. Yeah, let's go Rosalina. Rosalina is definitely a character I play as quite a bit in this game because in terms of the Flame Runner / Bowser Bike tier list, it goes Funky Kong, then Rosalina, then Meowthit B, I believe? So, oh yeah, there's also a stat difference since we were talking about that the other day, Alari. Yeah, so because of that, Rosalina's actually a really good character in this game, like a top 3, top 4, I think, somewhere around there, so sometimes just for the variety I end up playing as Rosalina, so let's do it. Let's go back to where we were yesterday. Should play through one of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeons game, but they put Red Rescue Team on GBA app. See, I could play that, or I could just play the remake of it, which is kind of what I want to do. And then I guess I'd get sad that I'm going to miss all of the quality of life / visual stuff in other games. Yeah, like, the heavy thing in this game is really... it's a really weird situation. As you said, I think that's exclusively why she's considered a heavy. Because it is by weight in this game, it's not like height and other things as well, like they factor into Mario Kart 8, which is why I think she's still considered a quote-unquote heavy there. But they don't actually like outright separate them into classes on like the character screen and stuff like they did on that game. What on earth? You can get reds? I actually didn't know we could get reds this entire time. What? Like, we've done how many races? And I didn't know that reds were on the playing field, because they've just never been fired at me. Well, okay. I think she's technically in the same weight class as Pauline in that game as well, which makes sense. I think they're both about the same height, so I'm guessing that's the logic for why they class things that way in America 8. Rescue Team DX works a lot better with more than 4 buttons to work with. Oh, okay. And you said about quality of life features as well. Okay, so there's clearly some stuff I'm missing out on playing the original if I were to. Then. Okay. Also, speaking of big features, the best quality of life feature that Rosalina has in this game, she doesn't have in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, is Luma. Luma makes playing as Rosalina in this game for me. Like, look at him. He's just chilling. He's great. I've just noticed the angry sun. That's like a core part of it in the original. It's way less obvious in this one, but it's really obvious in DS, I think. Like, it's in all the course preview and stuff. The original is solid. I beat it on a Sony Xperia during Year 9. Touchscreen? Touchscreen rough, but I'm guessing it wasn't too bad on a game like that, potentially. Not as bad as it would be, perhaps, on a platformer or anything. I think I said before, I don't really count it as my first Pokemon game, but technically my first Pokemon game was Sapphire on a phone emulator, because Android took a few weeks to get Pokemon Go for some reason, so I played that when everyone else was playing it. Anyway, Filler the Duke, hell that is, and Filler. My boy Free goes brr. My boy, and recently, what's it called? What's the recent goat? Pizza Boy as well. Pizza Boy did a lot of heavy lifting. Right, let's not screw this up, and let's not go into battle mode while we're at it as well. This track's living in infamy so far in this multi-world. My boy was far from the go. My boy worked, and that was the key. I think I, like most people, downloaded the non-free version after getting sick enough of. God, I can't remember what the Genesis / Mega Drive one I used was. I say Genesis because it was something Gen, I think, but yeah, the world of mobile phone emulators was exciting for, what would I have been, like, I guess 13 when I got my first Android, because I went BlackBerry, then iPhone, then I got fed up and went Android. That was a good decision. And then I went back to iPhone for a brief little bit because I really didn't want a Samsung at the time. Because that was back when I just finished having my Sony Xperia. I loved everything about my Xperia. Really wanted another one. They stopped doing them in my carrier. It was only Samsung and Huawei, and that was right as the Huawei bad stuff dropped back in like 2019-ish. when they were getting banned and you know, dropped from all the carriers and stuff. So because of that, my only option for an Android was Samsung, and I really didn't want a Samsung because the one I'd had before was awful. So I went back to iPhone for a bit instead, and it was fine for a while, and I got fed up, and then actually, ironically, got a Samsung because they got better in the 5 or so years they didn't have one. The old worst days of mobile emulation sold and source code sold on Google Play. Yeah, I forgot they were actually, like, I just said paid, but because I didn't pay for them, I kind of almost forgot they were paid. Oh yeah, and it was Android Marketplace, wasn't it, for a little bit? Wasn't it, I mean, even before that it was Android App Store, and then Apple kicked up a fuss saying that they owned the rights to the word App Store, and I think the courts agreed, didn't they? For some reason. Last time I had a Huawei, it kept overheating, that was over 10 years ago. They're decent now. I mean, they were decent at the time as well. There was just a lot of China bad going on at the time from all the same sources actually China badding now that I'm thinking about it. So because of that, everyone dropped them, and I think even they weren't allowed to use Android. I think they're still working on their own OS for that reason, which I don't know if it ever came out, or if it's still being worked on, etc. I'd be curious to see the results of that. But yeah, that was like slap bang round then, but they were really good at the time. They were like always known as the best like alternative, like with a budget phone or whatever. But because of that, everyone stopped carrying them. Let's see what we got. Mushroom Cup, Billet, Dry Bones. Remember mapping the Xperia shutter button to B so I could play Super Mario Bros. 3 on GBA. Which one's the shutter button again on Xperia? Is that the one at the very bottom? Like the little mini one? Because all the ones I've had have had that. So the shutter button to Z so I could play Ocarina of Time? Oh, that would have been... Like, Mario's one thing, but... Oh my god, that's another thing. That actually sounds like hell on earth. Luckily I've had, like, was it the Razer Kishi for the longest time? I had an 8-bit dude with, like, the phone clamp attachment for a while, but then I got a Razer Kishi randomly really cheap. They're very nice. My one complaint is they don't pass through audio if you have a non-headphoneless jack, but luckily I live in 2015 still and actually have a headphone jack on my phone, so that's also still a problem though, because it covers up the port. That's a really nice clip-on controller. So whenever, like, very few times I've done mobile gaming on the go, that has come in quite clutch, for sure. Need to bring back the headphone jack. Sony is a big proponent of it. That's half the reason I went Sony upon learning that. That, and they're one of the few who still has microSD expansion as well. It's like, oh yeah, I'm absolutely glad. Like, it's my favourite phone that I've had, so I'm really happy that I went with it, and I hope they're still producing phones by the time I've got to replace it next year. The Android World Best Era as well as an early adopter of RetroArch. I remember the RetroArch Android port being really confusing, like even by RetroArch standards. I've not even really used it since, honestly. Not that I've ever had much of a need to. I don't use emulators on my phone really at all. One exception being, I think I got really bored once and installed New Super Mario Bros. The DS one on my phone just to play the touchscreen minigames. But once again, that's like a touchscreen thing, so it's not as bad. RGUI before the touch. GUI. Ooh. Samsung's have been more affordable for me, especially on contract. I don't pay a lot for my current phone. I paid way more for my Samsung than I do my current one. I mean, depending on who you are, it might be quite a lot. $29 is generally what I've been paying for it a month, which is down from what I was. And that's with like 100 gig of data and a bunch of other, you know, like unlimiteds and stuff. I've really been surprised by it because it's actually less than I was paying for my previous one by like £10. It's just a better phone as well, so... Yeah, I've not had that much of an issue with it, all things considered. Yeah, modern phone can play this. I've never tried, but I've never tried it on my new phone, but I remember my old one ran Super Monkey Ball on GBA, like, pretty much perfect. I was stunned. That's a pretty good deal, all things considered, Jamie. Is that, like, unlimited data full stop? Because that's a steal if that's unlimited internet, for sure.
Win-win. Yeah.
What else? Crossing Cup to Mario Kart 8, there we go, finally on board good. Filler. Yeah, Mario Kart Wii could work well with phone tilt controls, to be fair, and jetpack. Okay, well, at least we got stuff to do in Mario Kart 8. I'm going to try and build it up a little bit more, so I will do Mushroom in a second. Yeah, I'm going to try and have it so at least we have a couple things to do in Mario Kart 8 before going back over. Probably more fun than Tour. Probably. Not a... Once again, we were talking about low bars earlier. It's not a particularly high bar, is it? Some games could still limbo under it, though. You'd be surprised. It's nice playing this one non-reversed again, because my brain got so confused on this. Was it this track? No, it was one of the other ones I really struggled with in this cup, wasn't it? Not GBA Bounce Castle 3. That was a struggle, just full stop, not because of the mirror thing. I don't think, have I ever attempted to play Mario Kart on the phone before? I don't think I have, because I've inherently realised that using the control stick's horrible. I was a transformed mobile player back when that was a thing, and it was not fun with touchscreen. I'm not as big of a hater of touch controls as a lot of people are in games, but like, there's use cases. Like, I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to play Sonic 2 with touch controls or whatever. Like, that was completely fine to me. I never had an issue with that. It's when it's like a 3D joystick. There's like this, I don't know, I probably have the world's sweatiest hands or whatever, but like, after like a minute of moving in circles on the joystick or whatever, my finger basically just becomes one screen and I struggle to be able to move it. You take it off and put it back on again, and now the surface is just completely like covered in weird hand oil, and therefore, that was really good. And yeah, then it's just like really annoying to move the joystick. That's the use case when I hate it. I don't hate it on something like Sonic 2 where you're just kind of tapping right. But you're holding right, not really having to move the stick and just tapping in another direction every once in a while. I think I've only emulated once with a mobile on it with a Pokemon to test it, so I did running the controls. I don't really even play mobile games much generally anymore. I really should load it up with some more when I get bored, but my go-to is that if I have internet, I mainly play Sonic Runners, and if I don't have internet, I mainly play Sonic Jump. And if it's a community day, I play Pokemon Go. There you go. That's about the 3 games I play on my phone. And last of all, we have Bowser Jr., Cheap Charger, and Funky Kong. Oh, there it is. There it is. Alright, Mushroom Cup. Just standard old Mushroom Cup, so I don't have to remember to change the CC and stuff. Yeah, we'll do a little round with Funky Kong, why not? Let's see, what's going on with Discord? I've got a couple more notifications than I did. Oh, these are all pretty standard. Just, hey, people are live streaming, I think. Yeah, okay. Nothing I actually have to pay any attention to that. Spoilers, some of them were me. Funky Kong, here he is. I keep getting tempted, but I'm too rural for Go. We only have one stop in the gym. As I say, my exclusive use case right now is entirely Community Day, of which, as long as you made sure to Pokestop in places that weren't rural every once in a while, you'd be able to stock up for or whatever, but, you know, if you wanted to play the actual game, it might be a bit rougher. Okay, first of all, we got loads of funny custom tracks, but that's not what we're here for. I've never seen Weemfy Wonderworld. That's a really fun track. Just as a concept, I like the idea of that. Yeah, I am streaming, I know. It's shocking. Sorry for springing that on people so suddenly, but yes, here I am. Okay. Rosalind using the same combos we did last time, as is Cooper actually. Cooper's using the one we used first of all, kicking off this rando. There's so few characters, and now look at this. We're using the best combo in the game, basically. I'm going to hold this mushroom for a little bit, because I'm going to see if I can somewhat competently do the shortcut here. Probably not, but a man can dream, can't he? Oh, I did! Oh, it's a beautiful day! I was doing that while like setting up tech and stuff yesterday, and I just could not do it for the life of me. I could not do the shortcut properly. I proved the people wrong. I can do it, and the people I'm the person. Yeah, maybe some more cups here, although I would much prefer getting some more Mario Kart 8, because it's been very heavily Mario Kart Wii balanced so far, by pure accident. So, or not heavily, but it's been like 70-30 Mario Kart Wii, I'd say. There's still a lot of cups to go in Mario Kart 8, so I would like to get over there and make progress. Just thought of something, I always notice this, but what they think of the art direction on the characters, they've all got this glossy look. I don't know. I like the way this game looks, but it definitely is like way glossier than previous or future ones. I'm guessing it's because it's the first time they could really do fancy lighting, so just kind of wanted to make a big song and dance of it. Like, Mario Kart DS is very basic lighting because it's a DS game, and anything before that, I mean, Double Dash kind of does. It has a very matte look, doesn't it? But this is like the first one where they could kind of go a bit more insane on it, so it did to an extent, but I definitely get what you mean. What we got? Filler, Cat Cruiser. Might as well be filler. Who's ready for a replay? I say replay. No, we've not played this yet at all, have we? We've not played Mushroom Cup, and we've not played this in Mario Kart Wii. Oh, sorry, Mario Kart 8. Played, yeah, different look is definitely the case. I think is the main reason that's surprising me. Yeah, no, I've not played this in 8 at all yet, and I've not played the mirror version of this. It's just Mushroom Gorge that I've played of all of these. Good track though. I really like it here. There's just a simplicity to it that it's still really simple in Mario Kart 8, don't get me wrong, but you know, no glider and stuff really takes us a long way. It's just driving in a circle with some bumps and you'll like it, basically. Very reminiscent of being a farm in that sense. That's a good track. Good song as well. Like, not one of the first Mario Kart songs that comes to mind, but I do get it stuck in my head whenever I hear it, so it does its job. All we got here in terms of fanciness is this simple jump. That's all you're getting. Funky's voice is annoying. Welcome to this game. Get ready to hit 12 of them. I'm so used to it I don't mind. Like, whenever I do then tune into it because someone mentions it, it amuses me more than it grates me. I also love his throwing animation. There's something comedic about it to me. Yes, I also do understand people getting grated by him. I know that was a big reason that people didn't want him back in 8, but I think they kind of toned down how much the clips play in 8 versus this game. So it kind of didn't grate as much. Filler. Acorn Cup, there we go. Two ready to go in 8, it's quite nice. Time to gorge. Not Shadow Gorge, I'm talking Mushroom Gorge. Ow. Oh, I was gonna make DK Jungle Parkway a BRSTM so that it was jungle. I forgot about that. We've already played it again, so it's too late, but darn, I was gonna do that last night and not say anything about it. Whoops. Forgot. Shame. Great map here though, like, still a very good Mario Kart Wii map for all that I was saying about it not being one of my favourites in 8. It's gorgeous, and it does the trick with the whole, well, quite literally the tricking thing, as I say here, like the being able to wheelie off these and skip over some of them, having to choose whether you trick or not off some of them. Like, there's just a lot more fun about how the mushrooms work in this game versus 8 for me personally. It's a stage about mushrooms, therefore it you know, balances the scales way more in Wii's favour. Plus, once again, it doesn't look like plastic in this, it's great. Even though what we were saying about the plastic thing, it looks much less plasticky than its new counterpart. Which is odd. Also, I don't know why I fell off, I kind of did the same as normal. There we go. Stuff like that's just inherently enjoyable to pull off in this game. I get the reasoning for removing the wheel, but of course you had to get rid of it. See, I can't trick there because I did that. Can't. Yeah, no, it was absolutely the right call to remove the wheelie, but it makes straights just that tiny bit more entertaining, doesn't it? Only a tiny bit, but still. Yeah, it adds weird risk reward to this track where it otherwise wouldn't have had any, even if you know half the vehicles in the game can't do it. And again, beautiful. Ah, you bouncy. You're also very bouncy in this game compared to past and future Mario Kart games. You just bounce all over the place, especially with bikes. Completely out of your control. Coins, filler. All filler. Done. And now it's Todd time. Let's go. Let's go. Ugh. It's also readjusting in share time, so apologies if you then end up hearing the Pro Controller, or the Switch Pro Controller when we go back to that, more so is the concern I have, I guess. This one's fine, this one doesn't rumble and have the world's loudest triggers, it just has somewhat loud triggers instead, much better. I say that, they're mostly quiet, there's just every now and then, actually it's the sticks you've got to worry about, you're going to definitely hear those for the moment, so apologies. The nunchuck just follows on from the GameCube rule of thumb and has even louder joystick than that bit, and they were so loud. You just hear them like click-clacking every now and then. Oh, start. Drop my drift. Apple's teasing a dedicated multi-platform game launch that will purportedly be pre-installed in iOS 19 this year. Gives them back over control over the third-party apps, doesn't it? Realistically, that's why they're doing it. It will just be a revamped Game Center, I'd presume, right? There's no reason to refit what already works. It is quite literally called Game Center. It's a centre for games. That is the perfect name for a central place to access your games, right, guys? You're not going to name it something stupid, surely? Surely? Oh, I got here as the transition was happening. It must have been really quick last lap. Interested in seeing more of this? I mean, yes, I don't massively see the appeal on something like iOS. It's not like there's benefits as such to launching it, like there is to like having all your games on Steam or whatever. Apple making a handheld, when do the play patterns expire? I know we've talked about this before, I just can't remember for the life of me. But yeah, no, I think Apple 10-15 years ago they wouldn't have considered it, but I'm guessing nowadays there's probably honestly enough of a market for it, especially with all the expertise they've learned from arcade to where they probably could do it pretty easily. And, you know, I assume the most of the intended library would be arcade, but I'm sure it would have compatibility were such a thing to exist with like standard mobile games as well. Whatever pattern drove the original Xperia Play Phone, the one with the D-pad and the face buttons and stuff back from like 09. So we got Booster Seat, Filler, Piranha Prowler. Okay, so no particular reason to stay here in Mario Kart Wii. All we've got left is the battle mode stuff, which I've already said my reasoning for avoiding if possible. Wow, that ends that soon, really? I mean, no, that's a really weird time to end. But, okay. Anyway, let's go back to the main menu, and then we'll do the big switch. Okay. Let's go. Mute you. Unmute you. Have my splitter not work for ages because it's weird with its line of sight. Undo you. Here. Deactivate, activate. There we go. And grab my Pro Controller. There is a gap in the handheld market for a small dedicated handheld. Yes, that one exactly. Less so for a hybrid, but definitely for a specific handheld. Right. I actually have one of my hinteds now. Daisy Circuit Wii is one of the ones I hinted for unraveling this boost. What's it called? The Balloon Battle Chain, sorry. So I have this somewhere, so where is it? It's in the Acorn Cup, so let's start with Acorn. Right, so as was mentioned, we do have Yoshi, so we'll give him a race. Actually, will we? No, we gotta save Yoshi till last, surely. Who do I have who I now want to play as? I want to play as Dry Bones. Is a dedicated handheld wanted nowadays? Clearly, if you look at that retro handheld market, like, I'm sure there's plenty of reason to say that people who have that wouldn't buy this, but I'm sure there must be some overlap, right? Anyway, Acorn Cup I need to open on here. That's not Acorn. I'm not looking at my screen properly. That's Acorn. There it is. But also look at the people who went for the Switch Lite. Yeah, the Switch Lite sold well enough, and that has absolutely no capability to be a console. So it clearly exists. And I'd be surprised if they didn't try to cater to those people again with the Switch 2. Because you could definitely cut a huge chunk of the cost not having the dock and the you know, having a more reduced chip or whatever that's just for handheld play. Like, that way more cost cut than you could with the Switch 1 equivalent, so I'd be shocked if they didn't revisit the idea come Switch 2, honestly, which I do think a lot more people would spring for in the case of Switch 1, because it was like less than £100 price difference or whatever. I feel like you could, maybe not 200, but at least like 150 you could probably get the difference to at that point. I mean, while true, Jamie, like, that's what the gap's there for. There's not particularly a gap for the hybrid because of the Switch, but there is a gap just for something you pick up and immediately take with you. And yeah, game streaming audience as well definitely can, like, factor into some sort of plans, like you say. A decent track, probably, honestly, still very close to the bottom for me, though. There's nothing that a bunch of the other city tracks and New York Minute and all the rest of them don't really do anyway, but it's fun to drive at least. But thematically, this is, I honestly forgot this existed until we just selected it. Tells you about how much I think about this one outside of playing on it. Oh yeah, AirPlay working would probably be the best solution instead of like having the ability to play it directly on the TV, because most smart TVs do have AirPlay built in, so I'm sure like that would have some functionality or something, right? I mean, what options even are there for game streaming now? Because, like, isn't Xbox basically nicking a bunch of the tech from Antstream and stuff? And Antstream's the only streaming one I can still think of, I guess. No, there's a load, isn't there? There's Game Pass, GE Now, Amazon Luna and stuff. Yeah, there is still some. You could argue there's not really much of a market, but you could argue there's certainly options, I guess. Hey, Google agreed there was room for a little one. I don't know if it's a huge failure, but someone could make it work. Alright, filler, Baby Daisy. Yeah, you pretty much can do that, especially with the Portal. I mean, the Portal proved that there's no room particularly for a dedicated streaming handheld, therefore all the more space for some sort of handheld. Although I think we're pretty sure that PlayStation are making a handheld at this point, aren't we? That they're trying to at least investigate something along those lines. I know Xbox has had that leaked already. It's basically a slightly rebadged version of the ROG Ally that's being made with Asus. Some factory leaks came out of that a few weeks ago, so we know that's coming. That doesn't count, does it? Let's be honest. The Portal user base is dedicated. It's mainly the extreme hardcore Sony fanbase, less so than a dedicated Portal fanbase, honestly. It feels to me more like it's a PlayStation product, I'll use it kind of fanbase. Pro Sony I wanted to revisit. See, you say that once again, as we've just said, there's a clear open spot now that Nintendo have abandoned it, right? Especially if you can get the price point right critically. Like, you could absolutely get the on-the-fence Switch people if you price it somewhere like 200 to 300 versus instead of the high end of the 300s or whatever. because there'll be plenty of people straight in comments of an announcement to that to argue that Sony has the better games or whatever, so therefore it's more justified or something. So, I mean, you could argue Vita focused on the wrong things. It definitely did. It was also fighting in an area Sony famously already did okay in, but already somewhat struggled in last gen, whereas they're not really going against Nintendo, but a more expensive Nintendo console. You know, Sony famous for undercutting competitors in that regard, so why not do it again? Apple can lean it on nostalgia and call it something like the iPod Arcade. Ooh, good point. iPod's sitting there for the taking. I mean, Vita's always the obvious one, was everyone's like, well, that's why they would never redo it, but I mean, any company would be foolish to not learn lessons even from a mistake. And there's like clear lessons. I could even tell you, like, the back touchscreen thing did not need to be on there. There you go, take some cost off. The biggest one, we all know, the proprietary storage, so got that. Don't abandon your own first-party support of it. Cling on to the first-party support of it, even if it's not looking too good, because stuff like 3DS proves you absolutely can claw it back if you actually just give it the attention. No, Anbernic has been, Anbernic has been toying with a sliding handheld to someone who's going to take advantage. Oh, that pattern dropping will be the best thing for Anbernic. I'm okay. See, the thing is, I think people forget, but Memory Stick, at least in the case of PSP, was somewhat well adopted way before the PSP came out. More like 2000-ish era was kind of when it was at its peak, but it was way less of a bad situation than the equivalent for Vita was. What did we get anyway? MTV, Parafoil, Jet Set. MKTV Parafoil, sorry, and the Jet Set. So nothing too interesting. Alright, this is the track we want to start unraveling this whole situation. Was it Memory Stick for cameras initially? Yes, and no, it was mostly cameras, wasn't it? I think it did have some other niche uses, but it was mostly a camera thing that they then just retrofitted into PSP when the Pros came out. That and, you know, UMDs are pretty heavily based on the mini disc format already, so it was like, that wasn't too far removed. Obviously, there was no cross-compatibility, but playing games on it is going to sell you on the format anyway, effectively. It's, you know, you don't need to buy games to play more games or whatever. You do need to buy a memory card to play more games, I guess. Yeah, and adapters exist for Memory Stick, but the point is they didn't at the time of release, and likewise, Vita didn't have memory card adapters at the point of release. So that was also something that came way later. So that's my kind of point, I guess, is Memory Stick wasn't as bad a deal when the PSP was new as the Vita memory cards were when the Vita was new, I guess, is the somewhat point I'm trying to get across pretty poorly. You know, I mean, Switch isn't quite in the same boat with microSD, Extreme, oh, no, Express. Extreme's the old standard, Express is the new standard, sorry. Like, someone had to do it eventually. These things have been around for 5 years. Like, they're there, the price is slowly dropping. At some point, someone was gonna have to include the technology in, like, a big handheld or something. Just, the price was too much. It's just about hit the point where it's consumer affordable, so Nintendo was the first one to bite the bullet. So, bite the bullet, so... kind of... You know, some people are like, it's whatever, but like, it clearly will be the standard going forward. It's not like you're buying something like a Vita memory card and you know this thing's gonna be a pile of ash in like, or, you know, effectively as good as a pile of ash in like 2 years or whatever. You know buying a micro SD card, that's gonna go forward, like, no matter what or whatever, you know? So it's not like as bad a situation, especially since you can get way more storage than you could on Vita for the same price, because that's how technology works. Okay, let's see what we get. Flower Cup Pass, there it is. And the outfit B. We got a lot that we can do now in Mario Kart 8, thankfully. We're going to stay here for a little bit and get comfy. See, the micro SD card, what was that? Like 2011 the Vita came out in Japan, wasn't it? microSD that widely supported in 2011? I had like a couple devices, but I feel like it was still full-sized SD at that point. That's what you could arguably go for, but even then, like, I'm trying to think. I don't think anything above like 8 gig was that common in 2012, right? I'm trying to think, like, when I build a 32 gig card, the earliest one I have is a really fancy one. I wish there was an easiest microSD solution like the PSP has without compromising losing a cartridge port. Technically on the 3G Vitas there is. You can replace the 3G dongle with one, but it's nowhere near as plug and play as the equivalent PSP one is, unfortunately. That's just never going to happen due to the, you know, my insecurity or whatever. We didn't want a mistake of that since what, by 2011 were there those adapters? I honestly don't remember. I mean, I only ever really got into PSP like 2014-ish, by which point in time they definitely already existed, so I don't remember roughly when you would have seen them, but it's probably not a stretch to assume 2012 they might have been around. Especially since I bet, first of all, they were partially to help people for the camera side of things. You know, probably weren't even thinking about PSP first of all. It was probably to get some life back out of old cameras, and it just happened to presume, you know, I wonder if there's like any good history pages on this sort of thing or anything like that, or, you know, people about at the time, because I'd love to know what, you know, made people realise the SD card stuff was compatible and all that. Fine for the standard stuff, but not gaming. Yeah, the 3G on the Vita was as good as useless, wasn't it? I don't really know why they thought that was a good idea. I just sold a 3G model that I had. I had no idea it was a 3G model until I sold it. That was the great thing about it. I looked, I turned it on to wipe it, and I was like, wait, no SIM card? I never knew this was a, you know, a 3G one. And yeah, I looked up the model number and it was. So, business deal? Yeah, Sony got in good with some of their Xperia guys, I'm guessing that's why it had it realistically. So I think in, like, I don't know what carriers you could get in the UK, but certainly, like, America was, like, the big ones, like Verizon and stuff, wasn't it? Alright. Wild Wiggler. I've already had the Wild Wiggler. Super Collider. Oh, no, I got confused. I got Wiggler the character earlier, and I confused it for the bike, didn't I? Yesterday. No, the Wild Wiggler's the bike. Okay. Let's see. Flower Cup makes the most sense, because that's where some hinted stuff is, so let's go there. Alright, I did get Luigi at some point, so I'm gonna now go with my boy. Where is he? Here we go, because I've not had an opportunity to really play much as him in Wii yet. I thought it was exclusive carriers, but that is essentially how Americans work anyway. The American networks work. Yeah, that was always like the case with the iPhone. It was exclusive, and I think it was only through hacking that people got it off, first of all. And then eventually they just released it, like, SIM-free or whatever. No worries, K-Dog. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate you hanging out. Have a good rest of your day over there, and speak to you soon. So I don't have my rich presents up right now, so I don't know how we're doing in terms of checks, but it feels like we're making some good progress today. We've had like back-to-back cups as opposed to going, where should I go next? Like, I've always had some good options, it feels like. At least, you know, on the Mario Kart 8 side, I feel like that's been not as much on Mario Kart Wii. It feels like I get down to my last cup and go, oh, I better unlock one soon, but certainly, like, I feel like we've been ploughing through them a bit quicker. So glad carrier locking isn't common anymore. I think it's flat out illegal in Europe, isn't it? I think it's against the law now. That's why you don't really see it anymore. 2011, yeah, 4G networks were starting. I think they'd already been tested in 2010. I think they were rolling out in 2011, weren't they? So yeah, 3G was already pretty old news, but the Vita was coming out, but 4G would have also been very expensive, so I'm guessing that's why the plans went the way they did with Vita anyway, and being a 3G console instead. That, and I'm sure like the 3G network was just more reliable at that time. 4G was still very unreliable until like 2015-16. More places started getting 3G. I think. Has the 3G network already gone? I think it was last year, wasn't it? Someone might need to look it up and correct me, but I think, at least in the UK, we started losing it last year, so you wouldn't even be able to use it anyway, particularly now. Yeah, thankfully at least 4G is really reliable now that 3G is turned off. UK was still rolling out 4G in 2020. Yeah, my village got kind of lucky because it always had, even with 3G, had a really bad signal. At some point, like circa 2017, they just came in 4G, which was really nice because it's nice to not live in the sticks anymore. January and February 2024 is when 3G died. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, you couldn't even use it anyway without like a SIM card emulator or anything to begin with. So you might as well just gut it at that point and put an SD card in it. If you got one of those Vitas, that is. Yeah, no, Vita panned out weirdly, didn't it? It made some weird old decisions, but I also don't think it would be half the character it was had it not made any of those decisions. Like that's what made it unique and worth talking about, you know? Filler Daisy. Oh, yeah, that too. Huawei would have massively sped it up, from what I remember, right? They were doing a pretty fast job at converting a lot of the last remainers. I was going to say the remainers over, that's different here in the UK. I was for a long time interested in these and do have interest again, I just don't like the sticks on them. Yeah, that's definitely something you're going to struggle to get over then, because I've gotten used to the sticks, definitely. They're not perfect, like, especially having now had a Switch, I see the similarities to them 100%. They, not one-to-one, but they certainly feel very similar to me, and therefore I'm a bit more used to them as a result of being used to Switch sticks, but I also get people who really don't like them all the same. They're not perfect, they're really far from it, as a matter of fact, but I like the system. It's just neat to me. This map's great. We all love City Escape, right? I mean, Toad Harbor, right? I don't know what toads have to do with the harbour, but they do. That's what Nintendo says, I'll believe them. Yeah, I best get acclimatised to playing as Luigi in Mario Kart World by the looks of it, so hopefully you get some good costumes. I've not paid too much attention to that side of the footage that's been coming out. I've mostly just been going, ooh, that looks neat. Oh, there's no Black Yoshi in that shot. Oh no, oh no. Yeah, sure, we'll have some great costumes along with the rest of them, even if they are for some reason separate character choices, which is really silly, but whatever. Pretty solid race, mine's clipping the grass there so far. Normally like have at least one or two tumbles on this track because it's a little tight around some corners, but it's alright. I thought I was going to overshoot that, however, and massively eat my words, so glad we hung on. This is another one of those examples of tracks I think is really good for like its tight corners and its turns and its twists and all the good stuff that I always go on about in this game being the reason why I like its driving so much. So this game plays right into that, and it's a nice short loop as well. It doesn't overstay its welcome as one of these sorts of tracks, so it does well by me. Everyone in this game is a 1% with this stadiums and harbours. Look, it's almost like we don't have what's the word, capital inequality in the Mario universe. You know, we can dream of better as a species, okay? But the concept of royalty does imply there is at least some equality in the world. Right, don't tell me. Okay, there was an update released for CTGP as I'm playing it right now. That's what my ping was. Okay. Amazing. Toad Harbor, we got Dolphin Dasher and Waluigi. Mario's a class traitor in this video essay, I will. It's when it cuts off of the in the video essay I will bit always. Always gets me. I'll be exploring the themes such as the concept of coins in the Mario universe. Twisted Mansion, another great track, another absolute banger. And what we do after this, Shago Falls, an absolute banger is coming in a moment as well, funnily enough. Something, you know, getting our ABCs, something. Don't tell me I said that. Don't show anyone that I crashed right into a wall as well, please. Thank you. I really always feel like that bit's going to be a trick, and it never is, and it throws me off every single time. No item is speeding things up, but admittedly I could turn on a very similar basic item setting like I did, but getting on alright with my 10 coins, all things considered. Mario has his own castle, but barely stays there. He does have a castle, doesn't he? I never think about the relevance of that to the Mario lore, and yet maybe I should be thinking about that a bit more. It's alright, my Paper Mario's humble. He lives in his own house with Luigi. He's saving the bills, okay? He's saving the dollar bills by paying less on the paper bills, if you know what I mean. He's a humble hero, basically. Familiarise myself with Mario Kart soundtracks. I tend to get them out of the game, even if someone plays them for me, but when I'm playing it, there's like tune. This game definitely, what doesn't help me is, as I said before, after I played a Mario Kart game for a point, I definitely turn off the audio and play my own stuff, which then doesn't help in memorizing any of these tracks. Anyway, Twisted Mansion, P-Wing, Balloon Battle Access, there it is. So, if I really get stuck, I've got both of those. I'm going to go and do them at once, but it requires closing CTGP and booting up normal Mario Kart Wii, which is a bit of a pain. Remember Super Mario Kart and Coconut Mall. That's it? That's the list? That's all you remember? Disowned. Maybe you should make an active effort to listen to some of these outside of the game. Also, underappreciated banger. This is one of my favourite songs in the game. Never gets brought up, but Try Guys Full gets stuck in my head as well. It's really good. It's because it doesn't include any of the sats and the jazz licks and everything that the rest of the game does. But Try Guys are fun, basically. That's all I'm trying to say. Oh yeah, because it doesn't have like all the hallmarks that make everyone's favourite Mario Kart 8 tracks. It gets left out of the conversation. But listen to that violin, my god damn. Whoops. So you played it outside of the game, I couldn't tell you the name. Yeah, that's understandable to an extent, I guess. But Jamie, you are like the known Nintendo fan around these Sega parts. You've got to really step your game up, honestly. I love violins. I feel like you bring up violins more, but a good violin does go a long way for sure. I'm going to wider section here to get into this little alcove, and you can just barely swing past and not have to drift. Oh, it just hits the right buttons this stage for sure. Play me something from Mainline Mario and I can tell you. See, whereas... hello, mods. Whereas I feel like, for me, it kind of the opposite way around. Like, I can name... Oh, that's the ground theme. Thank you. That's like the ground theme or whatever. I'm going to be a bit more pressed outside of that. As to... I don't know, what one's that one? What one's that one? Etc. These games, like, yeah, for the most part, there'd definitely be like a couple outliers that I'd struggle to identify. Like, honestly, I do think half the time I'd forget this track's name. It's just the one that I hum to myself every now and then. I think that would be the the name of it, and I would forget it's Track I Falls, but yeah, regardless, good track. Kamek Circuit Special. I can even tell you a couple tracks from RPG, but that's because I played some of it and I like Yoko Shimomura. That's a good reason to like the soundtrack, to be fair. Okay, I don't have anything hinted as of right now that I desperately need to get to. So I actually only have the one cup left again, so I actually think we do have something quite critical in battle mode, seemingly. So luckily Crossing Cup is full of short tracks, so we can find out quite quickly if I'm gonna get Burger King and be forced to battle. So let's go Kamek while we're thinking about it. And let's find the crossing. No? Oh, this one. So I wasn't looking at the screen properly. It took a moment. Forgive me. So Baby Park. Unsurprisingly, very fast track, therefore a couple quick checks. Can we roll good and get some more Mario Kart 8? Probably not, but I can dream. And I don't have to worry about getting pelted by items, so I can actually just focus on taking cool lines and getting some items. So... oh, sorry, getting some coins. Very different track. You can see that it's turned into here. A round of the vote list of people are getting too sweaty. Honestly, a very good idea. It's the forced equivalent of a shower in these games, right? Very sensible for doing so. I forget it's 7. I always think it's like DS and it's 5, but no, it is 7, isn't it? Especially when they are bagging. Remind them what game they are playing. I mean, bagging does work in most tracks. This maybe excited like at a few exceptions. I feel like that's why people dislike it so much. But I don't know. I just dislike it because it's people's go-to pick. I feel like I've never played it 7 billion times. It's good because items happen, but I just want to drive. I like driving in these driving games. But items, the blue shell funny. It's a fun track. Filler. Coins, just filler again. Not a good first roll. Let's see where this leads us. Come on, Cheeseland, give me lucky, lucky number 7. In this case, it's actually lucky number 8, because I'd like to stay on 8 for a bit longer if I could. Right, how many times do you overlap people, I wonder? I don't think you can check the times. You could probably calculate it based on times of finishing, that is, if that was an option in this game, but I don't think it is, unless... no, it's not, that screen's just names, isn't it? Like a Cheeseland banger of a song. So I'm going to hold out on balls by playing the series backwards. You do that. I can't remember. What have you played? You've played 8 and 7 that I know of. Have you really messed with any of the rest of them? I'm honestly struggling to remember off the top of my head. I think DS, right? Oh, we're making that up. I've done DS. Yeah, I remember that much. Oh yeah, because we talked about it on VGM, and you didn't really like aspects of it, did you? Yeah, Wii's a really fun one. I 100% that recently. Or I say recently, last year, I believe. You can absolutely get GP set up and do. I love GP 1 and 2. That's so much fun. I always forget that you can play DX at home. I'm guessing that's a Techno Power kind of thingy, right? Yeah, that makes sense. I assumed it was probably PC based somewhere along the line, so it's a modern arcade game, what can you expect? You can only get so much out of them. That is non-boot Linux PC NVIDIA card. You've got quite a lot of content in some of those early games you're starting with. Admittedly, maybe a bit less so, stuff like Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart 64, etc. But certainly, like, a lot of meat on the bones in the case of stuff like Wii and Double Dash and stuff. I still need to put time into Double Dash and figure it out, finally get my head around it and get semi-okay at it in order to actually be able to, like, unlock everything and stuff, because I've still never done it. Shell Cup in Mario Kart Wii. Gold trophy! We've not had one of them for so long. How are we doing in that regard? Gold Cups Master Victory. So I have 5 gold trophies. I believe I need 10 for Mario Kart 8. How many do I have in Wii? I have 3 in Wii and need 8. Oh no, I need... yeah, no, I need 8 in a way. Oh, we're not doing that well, are we? Right, but I've got a Shell Cup there anyway for now, so let's continue. At least I've got something to do there that isn't battle mode. Wii is next on the docket when I finish 200cc Gold Cups. Not stressing over 3 stars. Sensible. Unless you're like really that attached to the rewards, which not much of a reason to be unless you're a completionist. But yeah, just leave it at finishing them in first place and call it a day, you know. Another track from the pile of I really didn't like this back when it got spammed online in 8 Wii U, but oh my goodness, what a track it is nowadays, and I can finally appreciate it. I did 3 stars with 150 in here, we're getting first and 200cc is difficult. I mean, even if, you know, as you say, you're going back to like all these Mario Kart games, even if as well one day you end up getting World, Deluxe is always still going to be there, you're always still going to have a good time with it, like no matter what games come before and after it, etc. They're always still there if you just decide you want to put in the time again and give them another go, you know. There's like nothing saying you've got to do it right now, as long as you've got what you wanted out of the game for the moment, and that's the key. And yeah, that's it, exactly, there you go. Very nice. Yeah, like, you can come back with all the stuff you learned from other Mario Kart games and play that as well, so... It's like a win-win, you know? You get to play more game or more Mario Kart 8 at some point down the line, so why not? Was it after this? Is Animal Crossing, which is luckily a very short cut. We can see what variation we got in a second. Oh, got spring for like the last 3 times. I get the feeling I'm gonna get spring now that you've jinxed it. Shooting Star, Deluxe. Yeah, really not getting any luck for staying on Mario Kart 8, are we today? Winter. I'll take it. I feel like I don't see winter all that often. Winter remix is so good as well. I don't like all the remixes, but Autumn and Winter have got to be the best for sure. Oh wow, this snow is actually somewhat weird to drive on. It's really changed my tire physics quite a lot. Oops. Yeah, the sand is even more different. There's like different levels of off-road, I'm guessing, of the Animal Crossing course. See, I think this one gets a lot of flack as well, much like Baby Park and stuff. But I love this one. This is always one of my go-tos. It's just a nice and simple course. You get the variety of having the 4 songs and the 4 variations of the level. Like, it's a really cool one. It's definitely arguably my favourite of the crossover courses, I think. Last time I played this with my balloon items were robbed. Ooh. That's rough. Oops. Compared to other courses, this is just peaceful. Exactly. There's something so tranquil about this. Even like with all the items on CPUs up my backside, like it's still nice. Also, I don't have a mushroom, right? I can't do the whole hitting the rocks thing. Alright, Mario Kart 8, your last chance to roll something, otherwise we're going back to Wii again. You've got this, come on, you can do it, I believe in you. Give me a pass, we got so many left. Actually, we don't have that many left, honestly. I think we're actually not too far off having done a majority of the checks here, right? I'm gonna have a look in a second. Oh yeah, I have the male villager, I should have done that. Here we go. Cherry Cup Pass. Okay, well, one more. So how many have we got left? Let's leave it on good old Brewster tunes for a minute. So, what have I got left? I've got Banana, Bell, Boomerang, Cherry, Golden, leaf, lucky... okay, I have more than I thought. Mushroom, rock, shell, star, triforce. That is quite a few. How many do I have left on Wii? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually only have 5 cups left on Wii. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely all in the court of Mario Kart 8 here, mostly. Oh, did the rock thing happen? Right, who do I have? I just have Villager Male, right? I don't have any of the other Animal Crossing characters. Yeah, let's go Villager Male then. As we go into the Cherry Cup. Oh, no, you need to unlock rock. I'm lost. Anyway. Back we go. Where's me villager? Where is he? There he is. I forgot there's only one skin for male and one for female. Oh, right. Okay. Cherry is here. I mean, Los Angeles Lap's decent, just because I think the imagery of like the ultra bright sunny beach is quite nice, but Vancouver Velocity, oh my goodness, Vancouver Velocity. Favorite of the tour tracks, I think, I'd say. It's really good. I didn't really play as the villager all that much in this game. I've been playing Animal Crossing characters, just tend to play Isabelle. So, it's actually a bit of a new experience for me. But it's fine, we recovered it. We're good. Out of the tour tracks, I love Ninja Hideaway. I kind of don't tend to count that Sky High Sunday as others as like strictly tour tracks. When I say tour, I mostly mean like the themed, the ones themed off of whatchamacallit, cities. This stream and going back to the early Cup 200cc makes me want to vote with more variety. See, you get it. There's so many more maps than whenever we all play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that just never appear. That's why I picked Ice Ice Outpost, because no one else is going to pick it for you. Like, I should just create a spreadsheet of like what have I voted recently and just stop voting for it. And like, you know, as I said, not Shanghai Bazaar, whatever the Bones Bright Ruins, I think it's called, isn't it? Something like that. Never vote for that. That's a fine track. Why didn't I vote for that? I might have thrown it some shade, but even Mario Kart Stadium slaps. Oh, 100%. The base game stuff is just never picked anymore if you go into a worldwide as a result of Booster Course Pass existing. That, and it's not as strong as the Mario Kart 8 DLC bias that selector has, but there's certainly, I think, still a weighting towards DLC tracks in worldwide lobbies in 8 Deluxe. So you just never see the others anywhere near as much anymore, which is a little sad, because that's Mario Kart 8 in my brain when I think of it. I think of this Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I think of Mario Kart 8 as like all those tracks, you know, and therefore I don't really get to play them all that much anymore. Also, there's probably some apathy due to how long this game has lasted. That too. That's the thing for me. It's been a couple years now since I played some of those base game tracks so frequently that the apathy has worn back off again. Okay, Diddy Kong, King Boo. Definitely plays King Boo back in Mario Kart Wii. Oh. Sunset Wilds. Also, yeah, no worries, Jamie. I can't remember if I already said that. If not, no worries, Jamie. Oh wow, that was not a subtle way for the front-running beats to kick in there at all, was it? They just kind of started immediately. Normally there's like a bit of a fade, or, you know, like something to conceal them, but no such thing here, it just started. Oops. Whoops. Made some distance, pretty good. I am completely at a loss for things to talk about right now, because I have nothing to say about this track. It's a pretty... It's one of those few instances where... a lot in this game, you know, in the base game they changed GBA tracks to add more... what's the term? They changed them to add way more... you know, anti-grab and all the Mario Kart 8 stuff. Whereas in Boosted Course Bars, they just completely changed them because Tor had already completely changed them. This is one of those few instances where the track just feels identical to the original, minus like some very small changes. Like, it's a very basic track for a GBA track standards in Mario Kart 8. Which, you know, shouldn't be the case, because you think of GBA and you think of really simplistic tracks, don't you? It really does feel like a 7 track. I mean, it is in CGP7 and honestly does not play that differently to this one. Except like those dinosaur footprint things on the floor being trickable here. I think that's really the only difference I can honestly think of between the two versions. GLA tires and filler. Alright, we're getting down to serious time here on as to whether we're going to make the switch again. Isn't Tor based on 7 or something? Maybe? I honestly don't know. Oh yeah. Apparently in Mario Kart Wii I've done 120 of 194 checks, so definitely really getting there. We're getting to a point where we can soon snowball into getting some of these. I am playing one-handed for a second because I was checking my phone. Yeah, I mean, development time on Tor, well, they came out in 2019, it wouldn't shock me if, just because the Wii U was still too new and powerful at that point, if they used something like a 3DS game as a base. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not the most plausible option, but it's, somewhat, for sure. But I don't really know, I never paid any attention to it even when it was new. I played a single race the day it came out, and that was it. I got bored very quickly. So, as a result, I don't have any tales to tell of having any particular affinity for or having any knowledge of Tor. So, that's what it is. I got bored before I could even get in. Oh yeah, that happens. Is there some sort of server issue? Is that what you're alluding to? Because even if not, like, I can understand just waiting for the download. Fuck this. Oh. It's a beautiful room, that's for sure. Mobile servers at launch. I don't remember that. I got in just fine on launch day. I really don't have a memory of that at all. Nice clean racing fun. I mean, Duplicate's great no matter where you play it, but the Mario Kart 8 version just barely outdoes Blueprint. Like, just some little additions here and there that make this a really fun course to drive on in 8. That little trick there, and the half pipe here, and the stuff. Yeah, well, great description. Well done. You're all back for lap, boy. Welcome back, Jamie. I want to revisit DS now that I have a more patient mindset. Go for it. Like, you might find a new love for it, or it might entirely validate what you already felt. You know, there's no way to tell unless you do. Splat Buggy and Filler. Last chance, 8. You're clinging on. Both are good outcomes. Exactly. Neither of them are that bad in the grand scheme. Vancouver Velocity. Amazing. Love this track, both. Like, just thematically, musically, everything about it just hits. Pretty good track layout as well. It's pretty clear as to what's going to be a different path depending on the lap, so therefore it feels like way more unique between the various different laps versus some of the other tall courses which only like deviate on the third lap or whatever have you. This one's different all throughout. I love that about it. For sure, one of the goats. Even just of the entire boosted course pass, I never knew I'd have so much love for it going into it, but here we are. There's just something so wintry and cozy about it, which is obviously what they're going for. It's Vancouver and all that, but I don't know, it just hits the spot and feels different enough to all the rest of the city stages. It works really well. See how much that front running beat adds to this track as well. And the hockey arena, they knew. They absolutely knew. Oops. I mean, it's not. It's ice skating. It might as well hockey behind it. I don't know why there's bats in this cave. I mean, is that the bats like ultra common in caves in Vancouver? We may never know. Just makes it feel even more dingy than it is. Little breakdown there. Are they still on the second lap? Oh, okay. Getting close on that lap again, man. I mean, I'm not gonna do it before the end of the race here, but still. Never knew front running beats were a thing I played online. I think 7 started it, right? It wasn't Wii. I'm pretty sure it was 7. No, wait. Wii has like a very rudimentary version of it, I think, from memory. Anyway, what do we get? Baby Mario Special Cup. Okay. And with that, we are forced to go over to Mario Kart Wii. So, let's poke around with my HDMI splitter. Turn that off, turn that on. You on. Off and on. Okay. Open the Wii client. Alright, so we got Shell Cup and Special Cup, both normal variations, getting very low on cups left to do in this game. So it seems like most of our important stuff is in 8, so it's just going to be focusing on getting stuff for 8 at this point, so let's do that. Who do we get that I was in? Oh, King Boo, wasn't it, that I was interested in playing as? Let's do that. I guess we'll start with Shell. Yeah, this is a normal race, cool. Start with Shell, because Shell's going to be slightly quicker, I think. But Shell's 100% going to be quicker, so let's go there first. So I think I have all the heavies now. Yeah, I do have all the heavies, so you can keep playing as who we like at this point. Sadly, don't have the Mac bike to play as a few more medium weights, but maybe I'll play like Dolphin Dasher or something if I get more desperate for wanting to play as some characters. We've already played both of these cups though, so this is absolutely nothing new, but hey, at least I played them yesterday, so I'm not immediately replaying the same ones. So getting a bit of a timeout between them. I love Peach Beach. It's a really strange track. Also, goodbye mushrooms. It's a really strange track. Like, why are the cats quacks here? But regardless, I love it. I really wanted to see it again in Boosted Course Pass, but I did settle for Daisy Cruiser because at least we got a remix of the music. Also, yes, Ghost being in the weight class is the biggest sign that we don't know who'd put into heavyweight, by the way. Now that you mention it, that was a very good point. Got him. I thought they could drop mushrooms, but I don't think they always do. But I got his ass anyway. That was very close though. I'm surprised that I did that. Speaking of Daisy Cruiser, go ahead. Listening. Love seeing that in the background. I forgot about that. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I just don't pay attention to that side of the track because it's much faster to go this way. So as a result, I don't tend to look at it all that much, but yeah, it is there, isn't it? I mean, Double Dash is full of neat little callbacks to other tracks, really making it feel like a Mario Kart world, if you will, but I did the connection between tracks things way better than future games did, for sure. Like, glad they're kind of re-exploring it now. Cat Peach, Rosalina, Bowser Jr. You start looking at what Metroid Zero Mission track to request on VGM chair. I've said it every time you've talked about Zero Mission. I still need to play Zero Mission. I've said for like 3 years that I'm going to play Zero Mission, and it's now on NSO, so I don't even have an excuse. That was the one I was using for years on end. I'm just going to have to dip in at some point when I'm not playing anything at the moment. Yes, Oh Delfino looks huge, as thanks to this as well, doesn't it? Oh, this guy's taking the shortcut. Interesting. I want items, however, so I'm going to keep going the way I was going. Also, King Boo not hanging onto the handles for like 90% of the race is great. So I go back to Sunshine Eclipse. I never actually did play that. I've been semi-wanting to play Sunshine again recently, so I should just do that, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, that's a good idea. I'll play that at some point. Zero Mission movement. Oh, I did some bomb jumping when I last attempt to play the game, like 2016-ish. Absolutely did some bomb jumping, sequence breaking. I only got like 3 or 4 hours into it, but I had a really good time, so I should just play it. I would enjoy it a lot, so I don't know why I put it off so much. Oh yeah, extra islands and connects the islands a bit more. So good. Yeah, even without the bomb jumps, it does feel good. Yeah, that too. Yeah, that's another one going on the list for sure. I forgot all about it, but no, absolutely deserves a play real soon. Villa, Placket, points. Can I start getting some gold trophies, please? Because I'm at the point where like Wii feels like it should be goaling, but it's just not, and that's the annoying bit of it. Because everything's going to be an 8, seemingly. Oh, it is super quick too, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. See, I'm almost feeling at this point that one of the 2 battles is going to have a gold trophy behind it. Like, 1 if not 2, it feels like, given how slow they've been dropping at this point, I'm almost convinced that they will. So, we shall see. Something like that could easily break your flow, see Samus Returns. I honestly don't know that much about Samus Returns. It's the one I paid the least attention to, honestly. Even though I've seen the video retrospectives and things, I just cannot remember anything about them. I love how short this track is. It's so good for something like this, for just going, right, I need 3 quick ones. Hand them to me now. Roll the dice, roll the dice! Circle pad to enter the North Pole and counter make it gold. Yeah, I can see that just by you explaining it. Filler, Lactu, Toad. There we go, I think that's all lights as well now. Yeah, lightweight is just medium weight that I only have 5 in. That's the weakest category of the bunch. Right, well, last one of the Shell Cup and then a Special Cup time. And then we're really getting into the bowels of Mario Kart Wii, and I should just do these flipping battles, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel like rebooting the game and then having to use my Wii remote as well. I forgot about that. I lose my USB GameCube controller. I want to play the official canon for AM2R. That makes a lot of sense, but yeah, as you say, I know a lot of people way prefer AM2R over both the other versions of the game all the same, so it's a tough one in that sense. I get being a little bit perplexed by it all. You know, but what do I do in this situation? I mean, is there any, like, recommended quality of life mods for Samus Returns, anything like that? Maybe Battle will work if you restart the game and don't play any other track. True, but at that point, I would just... If I'm already going back to the Wii menu, I'd just rather boot up the actual game. because it will honestly be quicker to do that. Samus Returns isn't bad. That much I know, but like even those little grievances, like is there not a control patch for that sort of thing? Because I certainly don't know of any. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, I guess. Or unless it's just that inherently tied into the game. Dread improves and Samus Returns. Yeah, because that's like the next plot call, isn't it? See, Dread, that's a game I didn't really get on with, because it probably wasn't that good of a starting point for the series. I know plenty of people who did go in through it and enjoyed it, but I don't know, something about the simple, less in-your-face story approach of Zero Mission speaks to me for 1, 2. I just kept dying to the jump, to, you know, the jump scary enemies. I wasn't even like a scared, I was like, man, I don't feel like putting up with this right now. Didn't have enough momentum from Zero Mission to carry through Samus Returns from one to play a different kind of game. Yeah, that's it. Sometimes you're like, I immediately want to jump into another game like this, and other times you're just like, give it a few months before going back. That's what I've always been like with Pokemon. Can't play 2 of them back to back, or I just get extremely bored. Gold Trophy, very nice. Peach, Mario Raceway. Sorry, Mario Raceway? Standard cards, because I clicked Mario Raceway. Okay, Special Cup. Here we go. Well, Samus Returns needs is a Switch port. A Switch 2 port, yeah, definitely that would like give it so many more options for control schemes and you know, like random little updates based on Dread, and even not just that, but like you could look to the Prime remasters, I'm gonna guess, for a couple bits as well. That, and you know, 4K goes a long way. I imagine Dread would look incredible in 4K because it looked really good on Switch 1 as it was. We're still on normal, so normal Special Cup. I haven't really played as Wario, have I? I only really played as him in, only really played as him on the Mario Kart 8 side, so let's give him a whirl. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they've not. I would have thought that would have been some free fodder for keeping people company until the Switch 2. Like, I would have thought they would have dropped at least 2 at the beginning of this year, but maybe whatever team are really that busy with being like a support studio for Prime 4 or whatever, you know? I mean, we don't massively know what's going on in the internals, of course. Yeah, I thought that would have been a slam dunk to get people ready for Prime 4. Or, you know, especially like a port instead of a full game to keep Switch 1 people happy while they wait for Switch 2. But this Nintendo don't just drop 2 on the GameCube app. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, Samus Returns is ultra expensive, isn't it? I forgot that that kind of happened, because it sat so cheap in so many places for ages. I forgot that it just became a very valuable game for, well, I guess unsurprising reasons, given how late into the 3DS it was, but still. Yeah, isn't it like a £100 game-ish now or something like that? I seem to recall. Wahaha! Yeah! I'm still salty that we never got that announcement of Kirby Planet Robot Remaster. Maybe we might hear more about that at some point when there's a both Switch Direct going on. Whenever they feel like you're doing that, presumably like August, September or whatever, will realistically be the next time. I can't see them going to not E3 at the moment, given. By the way, that's the second red shell we've had in Mario Kart Wii All Seed. There's rumours about another Direct in June. Why? People have just bought the console. They're not going to immediately be wanting to rush out and buy a load of games coming out relatively soon, unless they're setting up Friend of Year, which I can see, because we don't really have any dates or many games lined up for End of Year, so that's most realistic. At that point, yeah. That's a good point. Maybe there is merit in doing one in June then, more than I thought. Especially if it's, yeah, you're going to struggle if it's like, hey, buy this right now. As opposed to, you know, if it's, hey, buy this in December or whatever. It's like, okay, I can manage that, you know. Samus Returns £38 at CEX, up there by 3DS standards, but not completely unattainable. I remembered it being way more than that, so either it's gone down or I misremembered it. It's most likely the second one. But, yeah, like, I mean, I keep intending to get the Mario and Luigi 3DS games. I have Dream Team, but it's a Select copy. But yeah, I was gonna Like, I think Bowser's Minions, the Superstar Saga remake, is like a 45 quid game from memory. I think Bowser's Inside Story is even more than that. So I've not been in a rush. Coins, Golden Dash Cup, and filler. Oh, limited edition is 130. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe anyway. Two hours 24, and we've the last hour or two has definitely been more progress than us. Sorry, we've only been going for 2 hours. The last hour has felt like more progress than the first one, definitely. So we've been knocking out checks quick, but not really had much to show for them until now. So long may it continue. The typical Archipelago spiral begins once I can actually goal one of them. It should get a chunk of stuff for the other at least. If not, I will just start hinting gold trophies at some point now that I've accumulated a lot of hint points in both. And just see what's like most worth my time doing. Probably actually another half bad idea to do that for Wii, since we're so close to the end of Wii at this point. Well, at least it feels like we're close to the end of like meaningful checks in Wii at least. Oop. Close. So you got it for £40 brand new when Dread came out. Well, that was like... Oh no, that was 2021. Yeah, 3DS stuff was still just about being... So, definitely thinking of giving one of these a go. I mean, I don't want to get your hopes up, but I'm working on maybe something that might be quite interesting. If you did want to give it a go either on your own or with me at some point. I've absolutely got a little manual that might be up people's streets. I just have to get it generating. I've done most of the hard work, it's just not working. You know, it's definitely worth a go, even just like these simple manual ones. And as well, I'm sure you've already seen from the website, you've got Linux support. That might have been why I was on the wiki, yes. But it's not to do with that version, unfortunately. That wasn't my priority. But being on that wiki was, there you go, you cracked code. I'll ask in the dev help at some point and see if I can get some help with whatever's going wrong with it. Oh, that was really good of me, well done. My hand just kind of slipped off the control stick. It's getting warm in here, I should turn the fan up a little bit. Fill up. Shy guy. Better grind out my Sega miles? Oh, you're not. Yeah, that was what I spent basically all of my day doing. So I've got to get it working at this point. I can't be too shy to ask about my help in case it's a dumb issue, because I've put like 6 hours into this damn thing. I need to see some sort of result out of it to not feel like I've wasted a day. Yeah, like even just doing these manuals, like I think I said just now, but cut myself off, you know, good Linux compatibility and basically all this stuff for you, so I know some of it's like very Steam Deck compliant, some of it's just like, you know, as long as you've got access to a desktop it might be a bit easier. There's a lot of options basically, for sure. Even then, like most stuff works from Proton from what I know, so even if it's Windows only, you're pretty set in terms of the mod stuff. Downloading the save is realistically the best option, but, you know, do whatever floats your boat, I guess. Great. Not what I meant to do, but okay. It worked. Found Samus Returns for 36.85 new. A number that weird can only mean it's shop 2. I'm gonna guess. They always have like weird tax-free prices. Hit.com. That's what based.co.uk or whatever it was, isn't it? Yeah, that tracks actually. Hit.co.uk. Yeah, basically the same thing. I knew what you meant. Yeah, they're like always the classic, for some reason, just have weird tax values on their games, those two in particular. So, it makes sense it'd be one of them. So, nearly at the point where I have to battle mode or go back to Mario Kart 8 again. I'm just gonna hit what's behind these battle modes, honestly, at this point. And then go back to hinting Gold Cups. Because I want to know what's behind them. I feel like there's got to be something good behind them. That's just the way the cookie always crumbles with these things. Oh, I'm honestly shocked I missed that. Also got Rodea on 3DS and Wii U also. How much out of interest? I have Rodea on Wii, which is kind of what I want out of it, but I'm a little curious all the same. I nearly bought a new copy from a gaming expo like a couple years back. It was like 2019-ish probably. Yeah, the Wii U version should come with the Wii version. Okay, what we got? Coins, coins, coins. Okay, right, let's get hinting. So, exclamation mark hint, underscore location, that will tell me what's at a location. So let's do balloon, that's how you spell balloon, battle, it's a gold trophy, I fucking knew it. Coin runners. Oh, coin battle it's called in America, isn't it? Oh, yes, I meant coin battle win. Toad. Okay, so balloon battle is important. Yes, I can do balloon battle on a normal track, so that's actually fine. I'm not going to bother with coin battle, therefore. It does feel like cheating, but I'm not rebooting the game, so... I say that. That's honestly not as much effort as I've been making it out to be to do it. It would be pretty easy. Because I don't know if the timer thing works, thinking about it now, because the lap count was still on screen, so surely that would also break something, right? Yeah, I'm now thinking about it, and I think it would be more broken than we thought it was. I don't know, I think I'll just reboot into the main game, just so we get to see some battle tracks, to be honest. Get to listen to some battle music and stuff, you know? Even if only for two tracks or whatever. And then we got some stuff to do in Mario Kart 8 anyway, so it'd be a good excuse to then go back to Mario Kart 8 once we've rebooted into CCGP. I definitely want to play Wii next. Wii's great, like... Admittedly, I think a lot of my love for Wii more comes from like the custom side of things nowadays. Unlike a lot of the games where I just enjoy them in their base form and I play the custom side just to get more out of them. I feel like a lot of my love for Wii is like custom tracks and mods and stuff like that more than the base game. Like whenever I go back to the base game, I'm like, huh, I forgot this was the last one that felt really small in comparison to like, especially, you know, 8, but like even 7 feels a lot bigger than Wii does, honestly. It feels like a very comparatively small game versus the rest of them. Because I'm so used to it being like this 200 track behemoth with like online and all the rest of it. Played it once in IT class. That was it, really? That's the only time you played Wii. Huh. Also, a strong recommend from me if you play Wii is, oh, what's it called? I talked about it before on Backlogged. So I want to say Midnight something, but it's not. Oh, I'm trying to think. Is it Tournament Museum I'm thinking of? Basically the thing that backs up this game's quote-unquote mission mode. It lets you play all the tournament stuff offline. That's really worth playing because there's so much game content that's on the disc that you just can't play as a result of the tournament mode going offline. So that's like the best way to access it all, in my opinion. I think it's called Tournament Museum. Now I'm just trying to think. I'm pretty sure. Do I need to use that with a fresh save or add it later? As far as I know, it shouldn't impact your save, but it's probably worth doing after you've played the main game, honestly, like, if you want a bit more to play. Because, like, I feel like the tournament stuff's, like, a really important part of, like, especially the early days of Mario Kart Wii, that definitely, like, you know, just because you couldn't play it for so long, or more realistically, you could play it until 2014. They just stopped making new content not that long after. Like, there's something like 50 unique missions or something like that. Like, they only lasted like a year or two, but it was like such an important part of that year or two in terms of this game's content. Like, especially stuff like, it's the only way to play Galaxy Coliseum, you know, that's not included as a battle track for some reason. You know, there's an entire map in the game that's locked behind that mode, so I think it's really worth playing on that regard. But it's a Revolution mod, so it might have the ability to create a separate save file on your SD card, so that might be worth a check as well. Anyway, Special Cup, coins, Shell Cup, so we definitely want to go back to 8 now. After this, because Wii is completely BK anyway, as we've now proven. Right, so, where's my Wii remote? Here it is. Oh, peek behind the curtain. Ooh. Right, where's my GameCube controller adapter thing? Here it is. Let me unplug the classic controller and plug it back into the Wii remote. Have the game disc take ages to load for some reason. Here it is. It is Tournament Museum. I remembered it was called something like that. For some reason I want to say Midnight, but I think Mario Kart Wii Midnight is a different thing, and then I was confusing Museum for it. And so yeah, this will look slightly blurrier than it did through CTGP. Sorry about that. Put on my Wii for the first time the other day just for dolphin. Get a dolphin bar, for goodness sake. Right, single player. Battle. You can see I'm no longer in GameCube controller because the buttons have changed. Right, easy, all, choose, recommended. I'm actually going to change that to basic just to make my life a little easier. Wins 2. I pay for something extra when I got the stuff here because it's so much easier. And we want Balloon Battle. So, I have loads of options for Balloon Battle at this point. I'm not going to play as Yoshi because I don't have the mod on, so I'm going to play as Luigi. Do keyboard and mouse for light gun games? I actually didn't know that. That's really cool. Wait, I don't have standard bike, do I? Or did I get standard bike and just miss it at some point? Nope, I only got standard kart with medium weight, so I guess we're doing that. Right. I want to go to Funky Stadium. Buy 2 candles and use them. Why do that? Just get 2 lighters. Cheaper. You've got to have lighters for the candles anyway. Boo. Right, get out. This is really loud all of a sudden. Is it loud for anyone else by any chance? Funky Stadium, what a song. Won't be as good as the CTGP DX remix that we had the other day, but it's still dang good. Right, got ya. So luckily because of this, it's mostly going to be red shells that you've got to worry about. So, what was that? That was a poor effort. Yeah, I've got to worry about my team being nincompoops effectively. That's my biggest concern, more than the CPU here. Because easy mode also applies to my CPUs, not just the other team. Twitch compression makes this look no different. I did wonder. It's noticeable on my screen, definitely. Yeah, I did assume that you were getting bit crushed a bit anyway, so makes sense. Right, come on, King Boo. That definitely tracks to the CPUs, doesn't it? Because I've not fired like 2 of those in a straight line when they've hit. So it's definitely doing a little bit of automatic homing for me. That's what is blue time again. Oh, I hoped it was going to turn for it. No one's doing anything on my team. Like, put some effort in, Jesus. That's Funky's coming back down. No, he's not. Can I... The problem is the CPUs don't drive in a straight line, so it's not going to be very easy to boost into one of them. We got a point back at least, finally. Oh yeah, definitely slowed down to make that easier for me. 29, really? I actually didn't know there was that much. I just have a basic USB one that I'm using actually right now to easily switch between my Wii and Wii U in my own time, that I got for like £5. I didn't realise the one with all the extra features was so much more money. Oh, that's fine. Dolphin Bar even works on it. Here it is. Here it is. Right, so I'm pretty free at this point to just drive in a circle. Seeing how little was scoring, of everyone scoring with easy CPU, I shouldn't have that much of a concern. I really don't know that my CPU are actually doing something. I was on the side of that. That should not have worked. I was on the side with no boost panel, it's worth pointing out, I believe. Oh yeah, good one, genius. Well done.
Wow. Oh yeah.
CPU does not make this fun. Yes. Especially because I play with the house rule of I need to get these 2 wins here, not just the 1. It doesn't specify in the manual. That's the whole point. You kind of half make your own rules for these things as well. I personally think a win counts as 2 of these wins, because then you get the victory screen. That's how I see it. So I've got to do this potentially 2 or 3 times. So it is a bit squeaky bum time in that sense. Anyway, Shame Shop Roulette, another really good one. This game has like one of my favourite selections of battle maps. Mario Kart World does get proper battle maps. They should have a trick mode where you try to rank up a high score by tricking, grinding, and wall riding. This game has like remnants of a mission mode that they were going to add before tournament mode that was going to be like completely offline. There's kind of something like that in the code, so they've definitely experimented with that exact thing before. So I wonder if now there's more of an emphasis on tricking and stuff. What happened there? I thought I had a green shell. What? Why did I boost? Yeah, now there's more of an emphasis on tricking and stuff, I kind of half wonder if we're going to see more stuff like that. Oh, great. Wait, that still counts as a point to us? What? Huh? That doesn't take a point away, more so my question was? Oh, I could have fired that. I was just being too cautious with it. Come on. Sit still, Jesus. No one just doesn't move 2 seconds in this mode. Oh, I thought that was my banana, that was someone else's. Yeah. They're actually quite close to us in terms of score. Oh my god, Funky Kong, why would you do that? Sit still. Good here. I mean, it was a poor map choice on my part, but I just never play this one, so I just kind of wanted an excuse to. Yikes. This has really been yikes so far. I need to start, you know, changing the trajectory for the team a little bit. Right, Toadette, sits. Just don't do that. Especially when you're on basic items and you can't afford to like get a red shell most of the time. Luckily they're carrying for me a little bit. Thankfully they've kicked in and decided to make up for my really shit performance. King Boo, I would like to boost into you if you get a second. That's not going to work if you just turn straight away from me. It doesn't matter at this point. I can realistically get away with not bothering. It's hard to care about. I wasn't looking at the screen. It's hard to care about battle mode when I was a cell damage kid. Oh wait, shit. Oh no. Oh. Third battle map. Third battle map. can possibly still do something about this. Oh, come on, King Boot. Oh! No, I can't. Someone fucked something up on our team. Yeah, I mean, cell damage just clears this, doesn't it? I knew I shouldn't have deviated from the classic tactic, which is, as you're about to see, when it loads. So you go to SNES Battle Course 4 or GBA Battle Course 3, you hit someone a few times, and then you sit in a corner. There you go, the tried and true. We're back again. Cell damage is what happens when you take a kart racer and make the racing the side mode. Yeah, 100%. I've yet to play it, but I've only ever heard good things. I've heard decent things. Alright, here we go. This is going to be a bit more like it. Grab it on Switch. Yeah, there is the HD version, isn't there? That's probably my best bet. So the issue with this one as well is the point count goes very high very quick because they all just sit in the middle and fight each other. Did someone hit that? Really? That was awful. Can you stop giving me bananas? They don't do anything. Except we've proven they kind of do something for some reason. Stop with bananas. Here we go. Got him. Okay. We still got 2 minutes left is my biggest concern. It's not enough of a gap to start the sitting in the corner of the arena thing. See, Coin Runners is a bit more the sitting in the corner one, especially because you can just about carry the team in Coin Runners. You cannot in Balloon Battle. You can do a damn good job of it, but you can't fully do the job of a team with one person yet. Oh, okay. No, I think we're good now. I think I can start doing the sitting in the corner thing for a little bit. Oh dear. I don't even have to be there and they're causing damage. What on earth? Where was this last match? Blue team is suffering. They're going through it right now. They're just driving into every banana on the map. Right, they're getting good somehow, but I don't think it's going to matter, realistically. There's no way they can get 11 points in 10 seconds. They can with driving like that, but even still, I think we're okay. And we're good. Woo! Balloon Battle win. There we go. That leaves us with 4 gold trophies, so we're only halfway there. So let's hint some of those. Oh, I don't have any more. Warriors Goldmine Wii in Mario Kart 8 is one of them. Okay. In ring races, balloons are the collision chaos orbs. Oh, that makes perfect sense. Okay. Right. We did it. Victory for the red team. Woo. Congrats, guys. Okay. So once the loading is done, we can back out to the Wii menu and go back into CTGP. So I can now plug that back into the GameCube adapter, so I don't have to worry about batteries and anything like that. I can wait for the sensor bar to kick in, thank you. For was hoping blue would win. Thanks, Jamie. I don't think you can actually... Because you could hold select on DS to do that for you instead. I don't think there's a way to do that full stop in Mario Kart Wii's Balloon Battle. I know that's why people tend to prefer the two modes in DS. I just think the tracks are really good in Wii. They hold that mode up quite a lot. So... I'll... Oh, yeah. See, I told you there was an update to CTGP while I was live. Okay, so we're going to leave this to do its thing. It'll get to the title screen and we can come back. So, let's mute the game. Let's unmute Mario Kart 8. And then I do 1 on this. Undo on that. Reactivate. And then we're good. Okay. So, with that, we have 2 more cups to go. So what was the hinted? I can't do either of them, apparently looking good anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. So, for now, let's focus on what we got. So, characters. I've got a lot of characters now. Who do I want? Shy Guy. Let's do it. Since we're on the Mario Kart DS subject, why not? And on that note, I am absolutely going to go my boy Green Shy Guy. 150. Right, so what do we have? Golden, Dash, and Shell. Golden, this one. That's a good cup. I mean, I prefer Lucky Cat, personally, but it's a pretty good cup to start things off with, all things considered. And Shell Cup. Shell Cup feels like it's going to be a quick one, so let's start there. I was surprised to find out Shy Guys are potentially randomized. I really didn't know that. I swore it was always green. That's just what I remembered. But memories are often false, and it was proven to me that day. I mean, hey, we get the option to choose them here, and I'm all for that. Shy Guy's a funny little fella. Can't wait to play Cow in Mario Kart World, as can most people. Can't wait, Jamie, not just you. People are going mad for that thing. I also never take glider here, so I'm kind of surprised I went out my way to do it. I have no idea if it's faster or not. I just always avoid it generally. I was always red. Makes me wonder if it was based on your nickname or some unique way of identifying your DS. So I'm going to guess your favourite colour wasn't set as red on the DS then, was it? Like you say, there's probably like some sort of like RNG seed it makes based on your username, and like you can set a... I can't think what it's called, a description, bio kind of thing. You know? You could do that, so surely there's like some RNG seed kind of thing doing it. Blue all the way through, correct? Ding ding ding. Also, I'm with you, Jamie, they do need to bring back Rob. I'm a little sad, but hey, in this game I played as Yoshi Bike while playing Yoshi. I can't play Rob Bike while playing as Rob, but I will take Rob Bike nonetheless. Whoever I play as, I think that's just going to have to be the vehicle I use. I can't disrespect him after wanting him back for so long in these games, you know? First roll of the dice. Mario Kart Wii left. That's weird. I don't know why it left. Okay. Right, Moo Moo Meadows. Leaf Cup. I actually think Leaf Cup has something hinted in it, doesn't it? Yes, it's Sherbetland. Okay. And Crimson Slim. Can I have Rob, you can ride his corpse? That's a dog. Mario Stuck at GBA. It gets a bad rap, but I like this track a lot. A very basic one, but it does the job for me personally. Plus, you know, you get the Ultra Hands holding the track up, which is just really cool. Does the Rob Kart have a Famicom variant? I actually don't know. I've only ever seen the English trailers, so You would have thought so, but maybe they've just done away with the regional difference at long last and gone, you know what, we did save the gaming industry in America. Oh, sorry, we did save the gaming industry worldwide, brackets America. So maybe they're just going with normal NES rob all the way over now. I have no idea. I'm sure there'll be like images on Google if there is a Japanese variant, I'm sure. It's impressive how early in the seed we got the Teddy Buggy, and I have not hinted it, but we still don't have any sign of the Azure Rollers, which are the, either the Azure Rollers or the normal Rollers. There's two variants that I can use optimally. Optimally. There's two of them. They're both in the seed, and apparently they're both really late in the seed, which is just funny to me because I just use those anyway. That's just my go-to wheels no matter what. So I'm a little sad that I've not seen either of them at this point in the run. Okay. Mario. I guess I'm gonna go straight to Leaf after this. I love Choo Choo Beach though. Always, like, I think it's pretty much always been my favourite retro track in this game. Weirdly, never one of my favourite Mario Kart DS courses. It's a very good one, but I wouldn't list it as one of my favourites. And yet, I don't know why. When the game came out, and when I first played Mario Kart 8 on Wii U, this was just a track I really gravitated towards. I think it's a really pretty one, drives very well, and the vibes are splendid, you know? So pretty much, if you ask me my favourite retro from the base game, even including, I guess, 8's DLC, it'd probably be this. I don't know whether it holds up to the Booster Course Pass test, but certainly this was a really good returning track for me. I got a lot of love for it. Remix does a lot as well to uplift the original track, so I don't know, I'm just a huge fan. I like gushing about it while I've got the chance. It's one of the goats, okay. at least in this retro side of things. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. That's why I'm adding as to whether there's anything that I prefer in the Booster Course Pass. I'm not sure much is coming to mind, even though it's all retro tracks. It definitely is. I just can't think of anything. There's so many options, but one of them's got to pip this, surely. I know you're meant to go through the water here, but I just play it like DS. You somewhat get penalised for going in the water there, so I just habitually don't do that and just go around it instead. Okay. We got Morton and Bad Wagon. Must be getting there on the car parts at least. I don't feel like there's that many more at this point. Oh, kept my eyes off the prize for a second and I forgot to trick. Oops. I mean, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. It's fine. But regardless, could be making an effort to speed these things up where possible. A very good remix, but not one that quite touches the original for me. The original's got like such a cool vibe about it, which it still has, but I don't know, there's something about it that just inherently like upscaling the track. I don't know if it's not the right word or whatever, but you know, just like remaking the track doesn't quite capture. You need to like, go all in with like doing something different with it or whatever have you. Reimagining it, I guess. Imagining it. But yeah, I don't know, still great. The racetrack itself feels so different. I know it isn't, but it really does because of all of the additions. It actually resemble it that much when I think of the two side by side in my head, but I'm sure it's way closer than I actually estimate it to be. It doesn't feel like it. It's odd. Okay. Oh. Quick one. I always remember it taking way longer than this on 150. This is one that I feel benefits greatly from 200. It's exciting enough already with the turns, but especially like weaving between the cars, that gives it a huge boost in terms of excitement versus the main track. So you know, Toad City sightseeing, what a place. Filler, gold tires. Okay. Right, so Leaf Cup should be next because I got something hinted behind it. As for who I want to play as, I've got a lot of options now. Who would be interesting who I've not already played as? I'd never play as Lakitu otherwise. Let's do that. Where even is Lakitu? There he is. Right next to me. He was hiding in plain sight. Sometimes that's the worst thing to do. 150. Leaf Cup. This is the one. This one feels like it has potential to be a bit of a longer one, especially compared to Golden Dash, so I guess getting it out of the way works by me. So can you play one game on its own? Yes, you can do that. You can just randomize the one game, if that's what you're meaning. I'm guessing it is. So yeah, I've done like solo SADX before, for example. I really like doing solo SADX actually, because that turns into like, it feels exactly like a puzzle. It's great. Especially with stuff like entrance randomizer, so you don't always know where leads to what level and stuff. SADX is just a lot of fun with it, basically, if you know your way around the game well enough and you set your settings well enough, for example. That makes a really good solo. But even stuff like this, you can make a solo out of very easily. Yeah, if you've got any questions about like the process of generating a game and stuff, feel free to chat them to me on Discord if you have any issues. It can be a little weird to get your head around. It took me being explained through it to figure out how to generate them on my own. I normally just chucked over the files and went, here you go, you do it. Most of the time anyway, so didn't really have a need to figure out how to do it for a while. Wario Stadium, I do want to say, is right tied with Cheap Cheap Beach as first, if not second, favourite retro track. This one also spoke to me because, I don't know, I like the original Wario Stadium, but it's far from one of my favourite DS tracks, whereas this just reinvents it in a really fun way. This is a reimagining of a track, you know? This is, like, the full works. It only minorly resembles the original, and I love that about it, that it does something so fresh with the concept and makes good use of anti-gravity and things like that. Completely breathes a bit of fresh air into what is otherwise a pretty standard dirt bike track to me, so yeah, I love what they did with it here, basically. Okay, let's see what we get. So Sherbetland's the one we want, which is the next track in the cup. But for now, we get Filler, Oh, and gold trophy. Very nice. So I got 7 gold trophies. I only need 3 more. I would be shocked, but it might just end up that 8 finishes first. I would be shocked, but we have so much stuff left to do in 8, and so little left to do in Wii, that I do think that is actually a really distinct possibility. I don't remember what it even is that's hinted here. I thought it was something that was required for balloon battles, so I actually don't know what this is. This is far from one of my favourites. I have like a bit of a soft spot for it, but even then I don't think it's like the best track or anything like that. For the most part, you basically want to avoid the water, and actually, weirdly, it becomes a much better track to play if you avoid the water. I just find it too finicky. Once you touch it, it's like, ugh, it's just so easy to slip and slide all over the place versus just staying out of it. I say, falling straight into it. Yeah, it's just like fiddly with weaving in between the obstacles and stuff. I'm not as much of a fan as I am just staying up top and having the easy life. Even if I'm sure it's probably quicker to go underground, honestly. I just tend to take the top route just for comfort and ease of mind, you know? Anyway, I gotta focus more on these coins, because I've not been doing that very much, as you can tell by the 3 that I have here. I think a chunk of them are underground. I'm actually just gonna take a second to get at least one of them here. I never expected Lakitu to sound like this, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it, given that I didn't think he'd sound remotely anything in this ballpark, but weird things have happened. These are pretty fun character players, though. I'm kind of glad I picked him. Minus that one fall, it's otherwise been a good clean race, even if I did slow down to get some coins at one point. Okay, whoops. Ah! Got that way too tight. Oh well, I don't need the coins anymore particularly, I'm right at the end. Right, so let's see what this hint was then. Roller. Oh. And Star Cup. Yeah, I think Star Cup was actually the thing I hinted, but I don't know why, because I'm guessing it was Star Cup Mirror I actually needed rather than Star Cup. Okay, well at least I can go to Rollers after this. Yeah, we're at 11 o'clock, we've been going for 3 hours. Hoping we can wrap this up within like an hour or an hour and a half-ish, you know? We are really getting to the tricks of Czechs America, as I say. Like, I'm not sure how much more you can squeeze out of it at this point. It is just going to be hinting these trophies and get a set. I mean, I don't have any hint points in Wii, so I'm going to have to hint point them in 8. They're nearly hitting like an 8-hour seed. I predicted this would be like 6 maximum, so this has been a really long one compared to what it could be, I guess. You know, I guess more content, but at the same time we're already approaching people's bedtimes, and I'm not doing this for a 3rd night. Finish it out on my own if I have to. So yeah, this track is great. I always thought it was okay in 3DS. Never anything like too interesting, but this really saves it. Like this is great. So I just realised they never updated the Music Park signs here to be Melody Motorway. It still says Music Park. Why did my inputs drop? I'm wired. My track just works so well. It's awesome. Boom. 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 Oh, I barely missed it. Just a bit too fast. Is the way everything is in time, that too. Ancient tires, coins. Alright, I've got a sec. Let's hint some gold cups. Exclamation mark in gold. Mario Circuit top 2, that's Flower Cup. And I need Sky Garden, and that's it. So I need to hint Flower Cup and Lucky Cat when I have a second. I need to hint Lucky Cat in this game. Am I getting confused? Is this game 8 trophies? Is this game 8 trophies and Wii is 10? Am I getting them the wrong way round? Because if so, we're actually really close to gold on them. I'll double check in a second. I mean, I'll hint the other thing in a second and that will help. So we want Flower Cup Mirror specifically. I'm guessing I've already done normal Flower Cup. Although such a convoluted track has one obvious route to take. See, this is another one where they just completely changed how this works in Mario Kart 8. Like, this one does not resemble the original in any way. There's actually a somewhat complex route that's fastest in Mario Kart 64. As proven, this one is just go left. Always going left is the fastest way. How did they let the solution be so simple? And the original was like, go right, then go left. I can't remember the exact thing, but it feels like go right, go left, then hop over a cliff, and that skips a turn or whatever. Like, that's how it was in that game. This is just hold left. I don't mind it, like, it probably needed simplifying, but it just surprises me that that was the outcome they came up with. It does make it a much nicer to drive, like, online and stuff, for example, but it still just baffles me a tiny bit. Locking in for some reason. It's not like it's exactly difficult. I just want to see if I can lap Morton. I can't. What we got? Koopa Trooper and Peach. Oh, Peach Parasol specifically. I always went left before finding out it's optimal. It's easy to figure out. Exclamation mark hint. Lucky at Cup Pass. DK Summit Mirror first place. Okay, so I really need that Flower Cup, basically. Exclamation... I don't have the hint points for it, though. Exclamation mark hint. Flower Cup Mirror. Yeah, I don't have any hint points, so it's just going to be continuing with Mario Kart 8 for a second, then. Right, Mario Kart 8. Speaking of which, Golden Dash Cup. Well, I have to have something to be able to continue in here, right? Oh no, I've got Star Cup, so I do have stuff I can do in Wii, technically. Okay, well, let's go with Golden Dash Cup for now, and then switch over to Wii. Who do I want? Who have I got again? I've got so many, I should stop saying that. started with Koopa Trooper. This might be one of the last ones we play. Why not play as Koopa Trooper, I guess? Or at least we started in Wii with Koopa Trooper, which was the first one we played. Right, Golden Dash. I remember this because it's the first one. Oh, whoops. Oh well. It doesn't matter. We've used these tyres the entire game, or practically like 80% of this world. I think I'll be fine continuing to use them if I keep forgetting. Whoops. Bonk. So speaking of it being faster to always go left, I believe going this way is faster. I think it's somewhat intended mushrooms, as you can see here, but I think even still it's just faster to go this way. I don't know why. I don't know whether it exists, but I'm guessing it's more for the benefit of lap 3, but yeah, it does feel a little cracked. That's probably not fine. Like, as an opening to the booster course pass, it doesn't honestly make like the world's best impression, but it's still one of the better booster course pass. Sorry, one of the better tour city tracks for sure. Especially because you got the whole third lap gimmick, which is pretty cool. I mean, Peach Gardens did it way cooler, but this did it first, technically. So it gets some swag points for that, at least. So I don't even take it this lap, is the weird thing. I just go the normal way. Definitely should, because looking at the map, it's significantly faster, but I can do it. Transform did it first. True. Some could argue better. It would be weird to argue that. Even in my opinion, it would be weird to argue that, but you could do it. Right, this is, speaking of things that are slow, this is slow. I just thought it was funny. And with that, good. Let's see. Triforce Cup and coins. Guess I'll stay with America 8 for a tiny bit longer then, unless I find where that flower cup is, in which case I'm gonna basically immediately pivot. Might even do it mid Grand Prix, because as I say, I think I might only need 8 cups, thinking about it. So I might just be able to get out of here. I really like Code Circuit. This one, yes, okay, it looks really bad. That is why it gets brought up in conversation most of the time. Like, it doesn't look anywhere near as good as the base game courses, or even later booster course fast courses, but it's a fun track to drive. I've always maintained that. Even in Mario Kart 7, it's still like one of my favourite circuit type tracks, because it is really basic, but has just like that little bit more than most of them have, with that glider section, that little mushroom intended shortcut that I'm doing at the end there. This sharp turn here where you can fully charge your purple boost like that. That's fun to me. Like, I've just always got a lot of fun out of this track, to be honest with you, but apparently most other people aren't finding. Oh, also, by the way, no worries, Jamie. Hope you're enjoying Tomb Raider. I forgot to reply to that earlier because I was getting into the heat of the action a little bit. Also, another benefit for right now, really quick track. Completely. Oh no, I kind of just about saved that, but it wasn't great. Okay. We got Flower Cup Mirror and Inkling Boy. Well, I'm a man of my word. I'm going over to Mario Kart Wii. let's see what we got. How do I do this again? It's been a moment. I do that. I should have done the volume first. I do that. It's on a white screen. Give it a moment. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Okay. Flower cup mirror. This is holding some real goodies in here. So let's give it a send-off it deserves. Right. Who do I want to play as out of all my heavyweights? I said I was going to play Dry Bowser in Mario Kart 8. I don't think I'm going to realistically get the chance. So let's play as him now. And let's go Flower Cup Mirror. That's not Mirror. That is Mirror. Okay. Flower Cup. Here we go. And hey, we're gonna basically smash cut right back into Coconut Mall if this isn't a goal. So no, we have Choco Mountain before that, but not long after we got Coconut Mall. So I have all three of the things I've hinted myself basically available to me right now, apparently, according to the tracker, so we're in a really good position to get this done quite quickly now, actually. But the big thing is I need more hint points in this game. But as to how I get there, we are going to have to clear out Mario Kart 8 first, and then just do everything else the game sends at us. Oh. It's throwing me off on this track. Like, it's a really basic track, and yet it feels so different. It's weird. Strange how it can work like that sometimes. The brain is funny, okay? There, I said it. I shouldn't have gone for that without a mushroom, but sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. One lap to go. I don't think any of the things are in Mario Circuit, but I could be wrong. I am bagging for a green shell, so I can throw it and get a little speed up, and then just drop it anyway, so it's not even not even worth my time. Please. Nope. I don't think I'm going to get one in time anyway. Oh, definitely not now. It was already 100%, but you just turned it into 200. Filler, gold trophy, and day tripper. Right, where does that leave? Where does that leave it? I'll tell you where it leaves it. That leaves it with a goal. That's Mario Kart 8 done. Very unceremoniously, but that's Mario Kart 8 done. Right, so with that, I can type an exclamation mark release. Wait, no I can't. Now, what do I have to do first? I forget. Goal. That's the one. So that, I released everything out, and I can now collect everything from this world. Nope. Is that the wrong one that was I meant to release? No. Okay, I already did all this. Fine. I have everything available to me now in Mario Kart Wii. So with that... what was hinted? I can't remember. I'm trying to think what's the best way to go about this. Realistically, it's going to be to continue Flower Cup. So let's continue Flower Cup right now. And just get some more hint points. Unless I already have some. Let's double check. I actually did get a load. Okay. DK Summit Mirror. We're going there. Oh, is that the only one left? Oh. Oh, okay. Well, we're getting there in a second. I never did Black Yoshi even though. I didn't think it would end quite as unceremoniously as this. I thought we still had a bit more of a push to go. I didn't realise it was only 8 trophies for 7. Oh, sorry, for Coconut Mall indeed. I didn't realise it was only 7 trophies. I technically could just go to DK Summit right now. I've been doing all this stuff in Grand Prix mode just out of convenience, but I could literally just go... Oh, sorry, I've been treating it as a Grand Prix, but I could literally just go to Versus Race and do it all right now. But I'm choosing not to. I'm choosing to see the Grand Prix through, just see what other checks we get, I guess. We all did just get Coconut Mall indeed. You know, I thought there was still a tiny bit more of 8, so I'd been planning my characters around that appropriately, but then it just kind of ended with a whimper, so... Mario Kart Wii, here we come. Okay. Oh. I mean, this, what is it? Coconut Mall has 3 checks anyway. Now that I've cleared the others out, because they had stuff for Mario Kart 8, you know, I just have a list of what's left in Mario Kart Wii, basically. So, for example, DK Summit, I think, only has 2 checks in it now, as opposed to the 3 it had. I'm not mirror moding correctly. Whereas, in the case of Coconut Mall, it actually has all 3. So all 3 things are things in Mario Kart Wii. It's all going to be filler. I know it's all filler, because there's only 1 trophy left in the world, and it's in DK Summit. But still. Okay. All we gotta do is get around here, and then we're in the promised land. Whoop. Oh well, I can lose all my speed at least. Whoops. Okay. We're safe, we're safe. What do we get? We got Birdo, Filler, and Filler. Oh, DK Summit actually only has the top 3 one left. It doesn't even have second or first place. But this is the big guy right here. This is the one we want. So it was all in here. It was all in the Flower Cup. What a cracked cup. It's had so much good stuff in it. Oh. 3rd red shell in Mario Kart Wii of this entire session. Oops. A bit too much right there on the jumps. Great. Had to be a green one as well, just to show up my allegiance. Tense. I don't know why. There's nothing to be tense about, and yet here I am still sat in silence, concentrating anyway. It doesn't matter, we're good. I've only got to get top 3 anyway, so even if I fall down the pack, I can make it back. Okay, we missed him again. It was a close shot though. We are golden. There we go. Let's see it. Gold trophy. Done is now highlighted. But I did say part of what makes this cool versus Mario Kart 8 is it wants you to do 8 gold trophies, and as well it gets you to do the Special Cup, mostly so that you've guaranteed to play Rainbow Road. So ideally, they want you to finish on Rainbow Road. Well, we're on CTGP. We'll give them what we want before we press that button. Let's go to a Rainbow Road, shall we? I think I know just the one. When it loads. Solo race. It can only be one guy, can't it? Do I even have the Mac bike? I've now got to double check that I actually have it. I do have the Mac bike, okay. And with that, let's find a Rainbow Road. I think I know the one I want. I want GCN. Let's do it. Last race. There you go, you can see the track author thing actually works now that we're on a custom track. Look at this. Oh, it's such a good recreation of Rainbow Road. And it works great in this game because drifting is actually nice and tight and solid, unlike Double Dash, which is great, but it feels like you're sliding all over the shop sometimes. Oh, this is 3 laps now. This used to be a 2-lap. Oh, okay. Also, goodbye invisible wall, I guess. Yeah, we can't just like unceremoniously send this game off as well. We've got to do something for it, right? Did we never saw SNES Rainbow Road. That would have been a good way to send off 8, to be fair, but at least one of them gets something, I guess. Yeah, this track's huge. We might be here a while. Yeah, there we go. That was like, what, just shy of 8 hours, pretty much? Not bad, all in all. It's certainly a bit on the longer side, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles with these things sometimes. Sometimes you barely play it, other times you get really stuck in and get into a long seed. And this wasn't quite on the long seed side, but certainly longer than expected of it. So, all in all, though, good fun. So, hopefully everyone else enjoyed the time of it as well. Fingers crossed anyway. So yeah, pretty much last appearance of Mario Kart 8 here. Oh, sorry, Mario Kart Wii here on Mario Kart Mondays, at least for a good while. The plan is to continue post Mario Kart World, but most of the focus will be on that and a little bit of Mario Kart 8. So not an awful lot on Wii. So maybe the last time you see it for a while, it's going to be bowing out. So have you been enjoying it? Enjoying seeing some of the last few days, and as well with the Retro Rewind a couple weeks ago at this point as well. A couple weeks, it's been like a month and a half, it's been a long time. It hardly feels like I've already done 7 of these, technically 8 if you count this stream, and yet here you go. Yeah, if you're at all curious about Archipelago after this, there is a command, !Archipelago, that will take you to the website, and from there you can find out more about it if it's been at all interesting to you. As we've said, this has been automatic. Oh, sorry, this has been manual, so I've been manually clicking everything I've been doing in the games, but there are also automatic options as well for various games, including some Mario ones if you're on the Mario side of things. Even Mario Kart 64's got one that works really well, so you can check that out as well. Likewise, if you're on the YouTube, thanks for keeping an eye out on things, I guess, over there. Follow for more. Like mentioned, we'll be back to Mario Kart 8 next week for the final pre-Mario Kart World session. That will be only a couple days before it comes out, so join me for that one. We'll be doing, hopefully, tournament mode, providing I can get enough people together. Have a lobby for that, and we'll also have a bit of song requests going, all being well, so feel free to drop some good tunes you want to hear while playing a bit of Mario Kart 8 again. What else have I got aside from that? Oh yeah, Pokemon Scarlet also starting the same week we start Mario Kart World, so look forward to that. When I say 8, do I mean 8 or Deluxe? We've already done 8, so I'm just using 8 as shorthand for Deluxe. So everyone's good to join next Monday. It should be sometime like 8:30 onwards. Monday is always a little difficult because it's shopping day, so I don't always have a huge amount of control over when I start, unfortunately. Nice. Yeah, as I said, I want to get a tournament mode going because I love tournament mode in 8 Deluxe. It's really good. And you don't get to do them all that often. And you don't know if they're coming back in World, so I'm going to make the most of it while I still can. So yeah, plus you can free vote in tournament mode, which you can't do in like worldwide and stuff, for example. But yeah, that's next week, and then the week after will be Mario Kart World, the first week of online races, and then the day after that, so what I can't think of the day. If someone has to leave before the tournament is up, that shouldn't matter. I'm pretty sure it's like a points-based thing, so I'm not actually really going to do it for the points-based stuff as much as I am like a nice open community thing to join. I might even like leave it open or open it early or something like that. I've not quite decided yet, but there are yeah, it's fine. You can like drop in and out. Normally, it's not a tournament as in like a round robin or whatever like that. It is just you join lobbies and you earn points towards a leaderboard kind of thing. I just like it because it's a good way to get people into huge rooms and get them in and out easily, more than like a friend code situation. But yeah, that's next week. Then week after, like I said, is Mario Kart World, and then the day after that we're back to Pokemon Scarlet playthrough. Yeah, tournament is like playing with friends with no track limit. Yes, that is indeed it. But right, that's been it for the Archipelago. I'll catch you all next week, like I said. Otherwise, give me a follow or follow me on various things at the Green Vibrator, I guess. If you want to find out more, I'll give updates in the Discord and stuff as well. Otherwise, I'm going to go and get this VOD uploaded and have a great rest of your night, I guess. But thanks for watching all. See you all soon. And oh yeah, I should actually press the button, shouldn't I? There we go. Team 1 has completed all of their games. And there it is. Thanks everyone. See you all soon. Have a great night. And thanks for joining me on this big old multi-world adventure. See you all soon.